Alright, hello gamers! Welcome back to the show. I'm your charming, self-proclaimed, yet still humble host, Mukluk. Don't interrupt me, Nogdog! And we are back for some more Guild Wars Tuesday. You're late. I am on time because I told everyone in the last two streams and on the Discord that we were starting later today. However, we are starting later than I expected. I went to a workshop. It was really cool. Well, I didn't go anywhere. It was an online workshop. It was like a call, right? It's like an online class. And we were learning stuff about voice acting from voice acting professionals. And I can't say who it is, so don't bother asking. But yeah, it was awesome. It was really cool. But they said it would be like an hour-long thing. And after like an hour and 40 minutes, I was like, I gotta go. But they were finally starting to like wrap it up.
With Muck and Chat, hopefully many more to come.
You said 8, not 9.
It's
not 9 yet.
Bobble, Mukluk, bobble, Mukluk, dancing, Mukluk, dancing, Mukluk, dancing, Mukluk, dancing.
Thank you, Sisu. Appreciate that. Also, Jack and Eferil, who also subbed. Appreciate you guys. Anyway, yeah. I was learning cool like VA stuff, and it was really neat. But yeah, it ran later than usual. But that will be the next 2 evenings as well. Hopefully not as late as we started today, but it'll be the next 2 evenings as well. They are recording it, so I can just like not go and watch the recorded thing after. But if I'm there, I can ask questions, which I did ask questions today. So I'd rather just be there. I'd rather just sacrifice a little bit of stream time and go. Panther, thank you for the prime. You said 8 p.m. That's what they said. So they were late, and they made me late. Did they not teach you about the very important lesson that voice actors must complete their work on time? Actually, one thing I learned from that talk is, you guys remember the voice actors strike? Because it affected Guild Wars 2, right? So we should know about that. One of the things they got from the VA strike is that, wow, that froze a long time, just me opening this guild menu, was that each recording session is like a maximum of 2 hours. And then he started giving us like some various tips and stuff. Like, let's say that you're recording lines for a game, and some of the lines are like death rattles, right? Like your character. Okay, let's say you're recording to be the main character from Resident Evil Village, right? Think of all the ways that character can die. So you have to record like a death rattle in like 20 different ways. You have to scream as if you're getting hit by a hammer. You have to scream as if you're getting chopped by an axe. You got to scream as if you got shot. You know, stuff like that. And so he's talking about, like, conserving your voice. Like, he's like, if I go in there and they've got a bunch of lines for me and some of them are death rattles, I ask them, can I record the death rattles first? Because my voice is going to be weaker by the end of this, so I want to do the screamy stuff at the beginning. You know, things like that. And there was some interesting things. He was like, yeah, and the guy, dude, I never heard about this. He's like, I know people that have come out of recording sessions and they were like coughing up blood.
2.5 years.
And I was like, coughing up blood.
Mukluk.
And he's like, yeah. And I was just like, okay. And like for example, like I can make my voice go really deep and it's very,
like I can talk like this, but it's very rough and I cannot do it very long.
And it's like I'm going to feel that for the next 20 minutes. I can't do that for very long. That's like my red zone. I can do that for a few seconds, and then it's like I'm done for the day. That's it. That's like way in my red zone. But I don't know. It was interesting hearing some of the like tips and stories and stuff like that. And it gave me some ideas because like, you know, some of the stuff that I'm recording takes for, it's like, you know, he's like, whenever you're recording a character, you should always ask yourself, like, who, what, when, where, why? Like, you know, where is this taking place, you know? Are you, like, in a busy street and you're having to yell over other people? Or are you just, like, talking to the other person alone in a quiet room? You know, things like that. Like thinking about the surroundings and stuff like that. But, yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot. It was an industry professional with a PowerPoint presentation and an hour and a half of knowledge jammed into my eyeballs. Did he say anything about AI in the industry? Yeah, he said, he did actually. The main thing was that, you know, AI can read lines, but it sucks at acting. And he said right now, if you really, really, truly want to get into this, it's more important. He's like, rather than being able to do a funny voice, you know, let's have some talk like Gollum. You know, rather than being able to do that, it's more important to be able to act. Like, even if it's with your own normal voice, being able to act and sound like a genuine person. And the first thing I thought of when he said that is Robert from Dispatch and Henry from Kingdom Come Deliverance. They just sound like a guy, right? Like, anyone who's seen me play either of those games, it just sounds like a guy. But it's really good, right? Robert and Henry both did a fantastic job, or whatever their real names are. I don't know. But they just sound like a guy, but it sounds like genuine, you know? Robert often sounds like he's just putting up with so much crap. And then Henry is just like trying to survive in this crazy world just through all these arduous situations. And they both did a fantastic job. And neither of them are doing some screwy, funny voice. They're just a guy. Wasn't Robert the guy from Breaking Bad? I don't know. I'm talking about that in Dispatch, Robert Robertson. But yeah, I mean, it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. But they basically said, you know, AI can't act for crap right now. So it more important than being able to do a funny voice is being able to act with your own voice. And there was a lot of other tips and stuff too. Again, it was almost 2 hours long. So I'm just giving you nuggets. But yeah, it was cool. Here in Brazil, the guy who's the voice actor of Goku is just his normal voice. Most great voice actors usually do their own voice and act like, you know, like actors. Crazy, right? Amazon just removed their AI English dub in their animes due to massive backlash. AI. Oh yeah, I saw some clips of that on Twitter. I saw some clips. It was terrible. Yeah. Mr. Muck, side question. The plushie has arrived in the rural Midwest. Was it supposed to have Velcro on both sides of the bottle? Sorry if I asked already. It just has Velcro on one side. Hang on. I can get the prototype. One sec. And I do apologize if it disappointed you in any way, shape, or form. Okay, so this is the prototype right here. Oh, I gotta turn off the green screen. There we go. And there is a piece of Velcro on the red side. There is not one on the green side, no. So the red side can stick to his hand, like that. And it's supposed to be green and red, because I don't know if either of you have ever noticed, but the main YouTube channel and the second YouTube channel, one of them has green in the logo and one has red in the logo. So it's to represent the two channels. And then on the, I think on the Twitch and Discord, the bottle has a mixed color. Okay. Is your shirt right now? Yeah, well this is the, hang on. My shirt right now is the combined symbol. Yeah. I missed out on that one. When's the next one? Currently, there's not any other queued up right now. There's no more queued up right now. Snail plushie win. Dude, I got my Twitch recap today, and in my top 5 most used emotes for my channel, 2 of them are snails. I was like, really? Okay. Probably from all, like, Mutiny Mondays. You guys just going crazy on Mutiny Mondays. You know, that might be another fun thing. We can go over the recap pretty soon, too. That could be something we could do. Let's see, Karmic Crafting Bag. Alright. You know, we saw... Someone pointed this out to me this morning. Hang on a second. Let me... Okay. Alright, let me show you guys something. Alright, here's Google, right? Alright, Guild Wars Reforged. Someone showed me this morning. I am Mr. Guild Wars. Yes, official box art. Official box art. Put me on the box. I will sell so many copies, at least 2. That's right. I'm John Guild Wars. That's right. Let's see what else. New Guild Wars henchman next to Menlo. Oh, wait, hold on. I gotta get 5 of these. Okay. Awesome. Making Laura jealous. Oh, man. That would be silly. That would be silly. Muck has legs. Wait, yeah, Blue, you saw the pictures from Seattle. What do you mean? Dispatch looks like a fun game. It's like 80% game. It's like 80% movie, 20% game. But it was a lot of fun. Very memorable. Also, Invisigirl sucks. What is Reforged? Rebranding for Guild Wars 1 with a patch that is updating the graphics. Comes out tomorrow. Pigs from Seattle were photoshopped. Oh god, I'm reminded of that one guy that made like an AI image of me from the Seattle pics, and I was like, what the heck is this? It's a weird. Weird. Do you think Guild Wars 2 should add a hardcore option, such as no downstate insta-death? I get that you could do that yourself, but having the permadeath delete option adds spice to it. Okay, so we actually talked about this recently, and I have an answer for that question that I'm satisfied with. I don't know if you're going to be satisfied with it, but I'm satisfied with it. So hopefully you're satisfied with it. I'm satisfied with it. Hello, Bertree. Okay, so do I think Guild Wars 2 should have a permadeath game mode? Because I did a hardcore challenge recently, okay? All right, here's my thoughts on that. If you take Guild Wars 2, right now we've got NA servers and EU servers. If you also had NA hardcore and EU hardcore, you would take the community that's currently split into 2 places and split them into 4 places. That means all maps would be less full. Okay? I don't think that's good. Instead, I'm going to steal an idea from WoW like they stole mounts and fractals from us, and there is a thing that they have, I think it's called Iron Soul. And basically, you make a character on a normal realm, not a hardcore server, and you can talk to a guy in Ironforge and get a buff called Iron Soul. And you can only receive the buff once, and it goes away when you die. So if you see someone with Iron Soul, you know they've never died. And that's it. So you could basically have the people that are limiting themselves to hardcore play on the normal servers with other people, and they've got the Iron Soul buff, and if they lose it, that's when, you know, they failed hardcore. So they could choose to keep playing the character, or they could choose to stop there, as if the buff bar needed to be more crowded. That's a whole nother discussion. Yes, you're right, the buff bar is quite crowded. However, that I think is the best idea, because I do not think it is good, I do not think it is good to split the player base into any more slices. World of Warcraft is currently suffering from that, because they have got so many different servers and game modes at this point that the player base is just incredibly fragmented. And I don't think we should do that. But having just like a little thing that you can show off on your own character, and then, you know, if your own self-imposed rules say, like, that's it, I lost Iron Soul, it's over, you know, boom. Done. My only concern is it adds to the leeching, like Bava Nisos Gorsival, forgot the name, Lextalion, and the VOE meta. Yeah, I mean, there would be certain things that would be very dangerous, right? Like, if you go into any fractal or raid group, if you go into any fractal or raid, and they wipe, that's it. You lost Iron Soul. You failed hardcore. Like, you gotta, you know, one-shot everything. Which is what WoW hardcore players have to deal with right now. Any chance of you ever going back to WoW, maybe Classic? Hold on a sec. Let me go back a little bit. Bertree said, "Do you think the Guild Wars Reforged update tomorrow will drastically change how we navigate the game for those of us who are returning players?" No. I think if you've already played it, it's just going to look a little prettier, right? I think it's just like a graphical update, and then it's a rebranding. So from going forward, Reforged will have Prophecies, Factions, and Nightfall all in one box, but not Eye of the North. So it'll be a lot cheaper to get the package, and then if you already had Prophecies, you're basically going to get Nightfall and Factions for free, I think. Because all of those are going to be like a combined thing now. Muck, how do you get the Wizard Tower vendor? I believe there was a mastery you had to get, and then you could buy it off the merchant in the Wizard's Tower. Let's see. Any chance of you going back to WoW? So, Darth Maul, I loved my time in WoW, right? I played it from, I don't know, like 7 or 10 years or something. I played it for a very long time. It was a huge part of my life at the time that I played it. I even got my wife into raiding with me for a while. And You know, as I've told you guys, I led a couple of server firsts. No world first, nothing like that. I wasn't that good, but a couple of server firsts I led, and it was very fond memories. I'm still in touch with some of the people I raided with back then. You know, those are my glory days. I will say, at the same time, there has not been any expansions to retail WoW since I did all that have tempted me to go back. I briefly visited the game during the beginning of Battle for Azeroth. Because, dude, you remember that trailer they had where Sylvanas, like, jumps off the tower, goes Banshee form, goes through 2 footmen and explodes their insides, and then screams for the Horde? I was like, my queen! And then, dude, I freaking reinstalled right then and there. And, you know, I was back into it for a little while, and then I was like, okay, I got tired of it again. So, I mean, that was great, but I got tired of it again. I will say, the only thing that has made me, like, super hyped since that BFA trailer to play some more WoW was the OnlyFans thing, which was the hardcore guild of content creators. Mighty Teapot was in it too. And it's funny because even those of us that are the biggest Guild Wars 2 content creators in OnlyFans were like small fries, right? So like Mighty Teapot was like on the bench basically, and I would have been too. But if there was an opportunity to go back and just play like hardcore OnlyFans WoW until I died, and then that's it, good run, it's over, I would be tempted. And I would hope that some of you would be interested in seeing that. Like, I would do my damnedest to get as far as I could. But that's it. That is the only thing that has super tempted me to go back and do it. Is basically, you know, go crazy on, like, the hardcore version until I die, and then, okay, that's as far as I got. Did you finish the hardcore run with your ranger? I did. Never died, either. And when we got to Zaitan, I looked him in the eye, I got him down to 1 hit point, I ate 55 loaves of bread right in front of his stupid face, and then I pulled the trigger and shot him the last time. It was a really weird flex, but that's what I did. Guild Wars 1, there is more edited videos coming out that aren't out yet. Guild Wars 1 Reforged is a small graphics update with some higher res skill icons, lighting engine upgrades, UI updates to account for higher res monitors, and some quality of life content. As of now, that is about all that is confirmed for Reforged, that they did say they would like to do new content for Guild Wars 1, but they can't say anything concrete. Gotcha. Why late start today? Today and the next 2 days, so Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I'm starting a little bit later because I'm attending a voice actors workshop that I got invited to that is completely paid for by somebody else. It doesn't get much better than that. And I was like, yes, I would like to. So I accepted the offer, and because of that and the time that they're doing it, it's making me late for stream. Let's see. Muck is actually an Asura. Yeah. Whenever I stand up, I'm using the filter program. You guys thought I stopped using it? I'm using it to stretch my legs. Imagine if Wrath of Lich King Hardcore had the fake TPK in the Lich King fight. The death message would pull up a fake permadeath screen. Oh my god, dude. Oh, that would be crazy. Okay, hold on. Really quick, let me explain that to people that don't know what he's talking about. When you fight the Lich King in World of Warcraft, there's a phase, like, you get him down, let's say you get him down to, like, I don't know, 10% or something. And finally he goes, enough! And he just does this explosion of energy, and it kills everyone. That's it. Like, it kills the whole raid. And then, I think it was Tyrion Fordring, who was, like, a paladin. He was like frozen in ice, and he's like, no! And he bursts out of it and does like a whole bunch of holy energy, and he mass reses you all and helps you, you know, try to burn the Lich King from 10% to dead. But it's just like, you know, if you were, the person in chat is joking, like, what if you were playing hardcore and you get to that part and then the whole group dies, and it displays the permadeath message for a second just to screw with people. And yes, that would be very cruel. Was it Bolvar? Was it Bolvar? No. Wait. Wasn't Bolvar the charred guy that was up on the throne? I think it was Tyrion that was frozen that did the holy explosion. He swung Ashbringer and he cut Frostmourne in half. I think Bolvar was crispy and he was up in the chair. I'm pretty sure on this, because of all the attempts that we had to do, I saw that stupid thing like 5,000 times. Because we wiped on that fight over and over and over and over and over and over and over. He was in the ice. Yeah, because like Tyrion starts the fight, gets frozen. You fight until that point, and then Tyrion breaks out of the ice at that point. I tried to use your link to get Soto and Janthier, but it kept giving me an error when completing the purchase. Don't know if it was able to get the sale on the link, but wasn't able to get through your link. That is really weird. Do you know, what do the errors say, Rosario? I can pass it along if it seems like something that needs to be passed along. Bloody gargoyles dragging the ranged DPS off of the cliff. Valkyr. It was Valkyr. And they were based off of, you know, like Viking Valkyries. But yeah, it was the Valkyr would swoop in and grab DPS or healers and fly to the cliff. And if you didn't kill the Valkyr in time, the person would get thrown off the cliff. And if they picked up Warlocks, you let them get thrown because Warlocks could teleport back up with their demonic circles. You just was like, oh, it's a Warlock. Muck that guy. I don't care. Bolvar became the Lich King because it was supposed to be... Yeah, Bolvar became the Lich King at the end of that. Yeah. Yours 2 permadeath wouldn't work due to couple of places where you die, correct? Well, okay. So in Living World Season 4, there is a part where your character like dies canonically, but I don't know if it counts as a death on your account, like when you do /deaths or whatever. But because my challenge in Guild Wars 2 is self-imposed, we could just say that's part of the story and ignore that, you know? But yeah, there is a canonical. There's a moment where you die. I don't know if it's game mechanic die. It's kind of like what's the fractal where you turn into a human and then you die and then Joko reses you. Okay, in that fractal you die also, but I don't know if the game considers that a death for /deaths. Twilight Oasis, there you go. There, you know, that would be another one, same type of thing. It was a day or two ago, but let me get all the way through clicking the confirm button. So it errored, went in game and followed the sale link, it worked right away. Okay. If I hear anybody else say this, I will pass it along if I find out it's more than a one-off. I think you stay at 1% on that in the fractal? Okay. Alright, but it's another moment where, you know, canonically you die there. Let's see. Braze Joko, Orion probably. Braze Joko. Okay. Alright, hang on. I thought this would be fun. Let me... Where is it? Where is it? Here we go. Here we go. Okay. Alright. Chat, today, I don't know if y'all have checked your emails today, got a annual recap. And, yeah, I could see this as a viewer, as a streamer, as a community. Obviously, I care about as a streamer. So this is my annual recap for 2025. This year we came together like never before to stream, hang out, and co-create. And the horrible things at TwitchCon. Luckily, I didn't go. Okay, so how many hours did I stream? 3,040. Hold on. How many hours are in a year? 8,700. So over 1/3 of my life was streamed for the last year. You guys are lucky. You get such quality content. Alright, total streams. 644 streams so far in 2025. Distinct days streamed. 365. Total hours watched. We have wasted 1.3 million human hours. Reminder that one of these streams was 3 minutes long in Seattle. Had to keep the streak alive, chat. Had to keep it alive. Top categories. Little game called Guild Wars 2, top 10%. The Riftbreaker, top 10%. Rogue Trader, top 10%. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, top 10%. Baldur's Gate 3. Oh god, that's right. We did the no death run of Baldur's Gate 3. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, we did the golden dice run. That was this year. That was my 3rd run of Baldur's Gate 3. Yeah, I love Baldur's Gate 3. I don't want to play it again. Friggin' 3 runs. That was 300 hours of it. Alright, your top stream reached 9.7k viewers. Chat, I bet you can all guess what day that was. I'll give you one guess. It was not my birthday. VOE launch. There you go. Yep,
Have some
VOA
Bezos
launch.
money, my fav streamer Mukluk love.
Thank you, Exiled. Chip's birthday. I don't know. Oh, hey, what are you doing? Okay. He was staring at me when you said Chip's birthday. I looked over, he was just looking at me, and then he just said, was like, bleh, and started taking a bath. And I was like, okay. Muck, do you think Yours 2 needs a ride event like the Fractals so more people start doing them? Ride event? I don't know what you're talking about. I know what the Fractal event is. I don't know what a ride event is. Top tags. English, ask me anything, drops enabled. 972,000 chats received. Half of these are Flute Girls spamming dancing. Top channel emotes. I hate that 2 of them are snails. Mukluk Dance. Oh, wow, it's not even close. Mukluk Dancing, 85,000 times. Half of that's Flute. Hold on. Flute messaged me earlier. How many of these were Flute? Give me a sec. Okay. Flute was 18,000 of those. So, without Flute, it's like 67,000. Alright, and then Bobble, 43,000. Mukluk Lull, 17,000. And then the 2 snails, 15k and 13k, respectively. How much was your total chat messages? 972,000. He probably means raid. Oh, I mean, they could if they wanted, sure. I mean, they're about to combine raids and strikes, right? So we're gonna see what effect that has on things. They're gonna have the raid finder soon. Your biggest fans. I don't know how it decides this. Charmon, to Manson, Tiz Bananes. This guy changed his name again. Nogdog, Seth278, Daniel
Merry
Rue.
Christmas, you filthy animal.
Okay. Bahamut, Ad1J, and Neovalar. Is that a real picture of Neovalar? I saw him in Seattle. That might be the real... That could be the real him. That could be the real Neov. That is not the real Nog. I met Nog in Seattle. He looks more goblin than this. Crossovers. Number of streams together. Okay, yeah, I learned my lesson. I learned my lesson. That's why. Because one of them was with Rose MMO. Top collaborators. Rose MMO. Twice. Yeah, he was fine the first one. Got my guard down. Went absolutely insane on the second one. Captain Richard, we did a sponsored stream together. Fandral was in the Rose MMO one. Why no stream together with Loranity? I actually... Okay, here's the thing. I think for top collaborators, I think I did one with Fandral, one with Loco, one with Loranity, one with Captain Richard, one with WoW Krindor, one with Bajira. But so I think there was too many that I did one with. And so it's showing this. Raids received 440. Who raided you? Laura 39 times, Errol 36, Fandral 30. Raids sent 272. Chat, I am doing my part. I have raided 272 streams this year. I am doing my part. Why are you late today? Explain yourself. Why are your ears so bad? Explain yourself. I put it on the Discord and in my last 2 streams. I was taking a voice acting class, and I will be late the next 2 nights as well. All right. Who did you raid? Noxxi, Airy, and Fandral. Clip that. 737 clips made of you. Unique clippers, 262. Your top viewed clip. What is this? Wait. Ah! Hold on a sec. What is happening? Hold on. I have to go beat my child. You're back. Jesus, scared the crap out of me. Why do you have to open doors like that? Why does the doors... Hold on. I have to go beat my child. You're back. That's it. That's my top clip of the year. I have to go beat my child. Gorgeous. Fantastic. All right. That is the memories I'm leaving. My legacy. I think like I said I was so scared, so I guess he spooked me or something. All right. Hype happenings. 19,000 new followers. Welcome, 19,000 new followers. New subscribers, 4,300. Hype trains, 365. We have a hype train every day of the year, chat. Points spent in your channel. This is like a lot of wizard hats. Chat badge unlocked, 2025. I don't know what the deal is with this thing. Share your recap. There we go. I wish it said days streamed here on this card. There we go. There we go. That's us, chat. Wow! What's happening? Oh boy, Sergeant! Thank you for the 20 gifted. I really appreciate that. MuklukYoutube thought that'd be Reginald Esquire, the fourth, the Charles Event Snuffles the third. Welcomes you, Gino Blade, Dracolich, Eon Ezra, Veldris, Wonky O, Camiris, Yahtzee 19, Ellen Method, Death Champ, Quijamon, Cyro 5594, El Tosto, LA Road Warrior, Ahirka. I started to say Akira, it's not that. Proto 03, Ayase, Economic, Rosie Woogs, Wee Mouse, and Deflock to the lab. Hope you enjoy your stay. Entertainment is on the way. Cricket the speakers, such bakers giveaways every week. Please take a seat, but you're lonely near the edge. Welcome. All right, that's me. That's my recap.
Here is some of Jeff Bezos' money to pay for Chip's food. Goodbye ads for another month.
All right, Chip is decent now. I can sort of show him. Lump. Lump. That's it. He is out. That's all you get right now. It's just the lump. What's the story behind the snail emotes? In the game Rift Breaker, there is Twitch integration, and people can do things to make my life painful. And in the game, the most painful mob, or one of the most painful mobs, is a thing that looks like a giant snail. But imagine the snail fires its shell from a mile away, and it comes crashing down on you like a meteor, and then it rapidly grows a new shell and keeps doing it. They're like artillery units. And they're called Nurglaxes, but we all just call them snails. And so we made a snail emote. And I actually showed it to the developers of the game on their Discord. And I was like, hey, my community made this because they like spawning snails on me. And they said, quote, that's horrifying. When will you play Rift Breaker again? I don't know. I highly considered it last night. But I ended up going with Vermintide. You know, after I lost so many matches with Charmon playing the dwarf, afterward, I was on YouTube, and it suggested to me a video of the dwarf soloing in Vermintide. And it's right here, I put it in general chat. Legend difficulty solo dwarf ranger. And I was like, wow, Charmon was really holding back on us. He was super holding back on us. Those clips at the pre-stream reminded me I haven't played Rift Breaker since 2.0 came out. Oh yeah? Mike, did you see they shrunk Helldivers to gigabyte size? Yes. Yeah, it was like from 100 gigabytes down to like 20 or 30 or something. Yeah. I mean, that's been something that all us older gamers have been saying for a long time is no one seems to know how to optimize stuff anymore. Because, like, back when they had to pay for how many CDs the game would be on, oh my god, they would optimize the crap out of games. Now, though, it's, oh my gosh. It's like, oh yeah, you want to download this new game? 300 gigs. That's it. You could do it yourself with Compactor, or they could do it for all their customer base. Does YouTube send out the recap? No, it's a Twitch thing. I don't know that YouTube does anything like that. That would be neat. It was crazy when FF7 was 3-disc, FF8 was 4. Yeah, it's like people asking me if I'm going to play the FF7 remake, and I'm like, my understanding is I have to buy it 4 different times, and they're not all out yet. So not super interested in that at this time. All right, so we started late today, chat. We're gonna do. Let's see, we gotta figure out the giveaway here. I am not prepared. Let me see. We can figure something out here. Okay, yeah, we've got enough stuff. I should have set this up earlier. We got enough stuff here. We could do some like Mystic Coins. We could throw some Ectos in there. And what are these worth? What are these worth? Are these? Oh my god! Is the grand prize gonna be poultry? What the crap? poultry grand prize, some chicken nuggies. Oh my goodness. What are the Halloween bags worth? What's this? What's it? Oh, what are you doing? Yo, they're almost... what? That's so much! Dude, Halloween bags increased in price when I wasn't looking. Okay. Yeah, in a few minutes, we'll do the weekly giveaway because we started way late today. And then I need to do the November Q&A. So, if anybody has some good, juicy, scrum-diddly-umptious questions for the Q&A, hang on to those. What are some new games on the agenda? I know some sick new games DLC coming out in December. Total War Warhammer 3 in a couple days is coming out with a new DLC I'm interested in. I've actually got two here that, okay, I saw someone else playing this. And it's called Level Devil. And basically it's a game that trolls you. And it will, like, whatever you think is going to happen, it will keep doing other things. And I keep seeing clips of streamers, like, screaming at this. And I was like, okay, I should do this on stream at some point. So, that looks really funny for a day or two. Another one someone linked me that looked pretty cool was this one. Hang on. Love it building to the beat. Wait, I just saw my class. He's got summons. He sent dudes. Okay, anyway. I thought this looked really cool. Someone suggested this to me, and I kept a tab open for that because I thought that looked really neat. Octopath Traveler 0 comes out on Thursday if you're interested, but the main story is like 100 hours. Well, okay, I'll tell you right now, I got no problem playing another Octopath game. Okay, none at all. However, let's go to Solino. Hang on a second. Let's see. Oh, wow, dude. My stats on Sully-Gnome, look at all these red numbers. They all look terrible, and you know why? Because the previous month, we had Twitch drops. So now it's like, hey, did you know you suck this month? I'm like, yeah, I know. Thanks. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. See, if I go to the full year, it's in the green. Let's see. What year did we play Octopath? Okay, hold on a sec. Mukluk plays Octopath Traveler 2. Alright, when did, let's see, February 2023. Okay, hold on a sec, 2023. Okay, here we go. And, jeez, okay, I think an expansion came out that day. Games. And now we find Octopath. Okay, here we go, Octopath Traveler. You know what? Not bad. Average 226. That's actually better than I thought. Peaked at 608. And this is probably like I was playing Guild Wars 2. I swapped to Octopath and there was 600 people and then it went down to 200. So it's one of the two. So, you know, over 200. That's kind of like my minimum these days is over 200. And I actually had someone gift me Octopath 1. And if I felt like the audience would be there for it, I got no problem playing it. Octopath 2 was fun. Like, the whole thing is it's, for anyone who hasn't seen it, it's called Octopath because you're following the stories of 8 different individuals, and their stories all merge together, and then they end up doing something that, you know, changes the world in a way. But they each have their own stories, and in my opinion, 7 of them had really good stories. Then there was the dancer, but we're not going to talk about her. But yeah, so most of them had some really cool stories and good writing and stuff like that. I can appreciate that. If you play another Octo, please do it in the evening stream. I'm not a morning person to happily support. I like hearing that. I like hearing that. There's Octopath Traveler 0 coming tomorrow. Yeah, there's that. There's the, like I said, Total War Warhammer 3 has an update with new Legendary Lords coming out in a couple days. I'm interested in that as well. There's a lot of good stuff for sure. There's a lot of good stuff. Ask ANET to do a full year of drops. Oh God, no. No. I wish they, okay, when they do drops, I actually wish it was a shorter duration. Cause like, when they do drops for like 5 to 7 days, look, yes, it's good for business, but it really encourages unhealthy behavior for me. And I have no self-control. It's like, they're like, we're doing drops for 7 days. And I'm like, cool. I will be streaming 14 hours of drops on the first day and 12 on on all the remaining days up until it runs out. So I like by day 7, I hate Guild Wars 2 on day 7. I am literally there as a streamer to farm. Y'all are farming drops, I'm farming you. That's day 7 of drops. Okay? So I love the drops. They're great for business. I wish they were like 3 days. I'm wishing it was like 3 days. Are you saying no to more money? Zeroni, I said no to more money when I changed from being a Guild Wars 2 content creator to being a variety streamer like three years ago. I lost a ton of money from that change, but I did it for my sanity, right? If you don't want me to hate Guild Wars 2, we want to not have a month of drops. You can milk me, Muck? I will. I will. If we're a farm, I want to be a goat. Can you do the goat scream? 3 days of drops every quarter. I mean, I'll take it. I'll take it. Jabbers the dog says, if we were a farm, I want to be a goat. Jabbers, you have the dog in your name. You can't be the goat. You're like a sheep hound or something. Is there any other type of dogs on the farm? I don't know. We can fix your sanity problem with a few thousand maps in Path of Exile. Few thousand? Dude, I think in all my time playing Path combined, I haven't done a few thousand maps. I usually get bored of it by that point. I'll be the livestock guardian dog. There you go. That's more like it. That is more like it. Play jump puzzles with your feet and sell the pics on OnlyFans. Dude, I got like Hobbit feet. No one wants to see my feet. They can just go watch Lord of the Rings online if they want to see that. There's a reason one of the quotes in the game is still saying exile. Yeah. Muck, are we allowed to do some Mucktember sound drop this month? Please look forward to it all year. Mucktember? Oh god. I tell you what. Okay, the reason we stopped having... We used to have these redeems people could do that would play the muck drops. However, our population grew. And now there's so many people that if I have these enabled, it's just a constant wall of noise. Because you guys have no self-control. So, I'll tell you what. I will play it once for you guys manually for now. And we'll go from there. We'll go from there. What is happening? Oh my goodness. I hate Christmas music. I was a good boy. Ah, this is worse. Come on, guys. I feel attacked. There you go. There you go. That is Muckmas. Dusted it off. Well, we can play it from time to time. I don't want to put it in y'all's incapable hands, though. Y'all go crazy with it. As someone who works retail, Christmas music should die. You know what was funny? There was 1 year for Halloween. I was playing the ad, okay? For those who haven't seen it, it starts like this. And then I had it fade into Mariah Carey singing Christmas music. Like her music video. And I did it on Halloween. And I was like, chat, I'm gonna play. I prepared something truly scary for you. And I played the ad, and then it faded into Mariah Carey, and everybody started like bobbling and dancing and stuff, and then it transitioned. They're like, no, no, and they were all screaming. They're like, Muckin, this is too much. This is too scary. You can't do this. Dude, Mariah stole my ad revenue that night, but it was worth it. Like, I bought her most recent jet. You should be on a list for that. She's defrosting, that's right. The ice is cracking. Give the ad. Need the song. We need our Christmas emotes. That is true. I do need to do that. Minecraft villager noises. Okay. Hold on. I need to set myself like a reminder for that. Give me a sec. Let's see. Viewer reward, emotes, opening tab. Okay. Okay. I've opened a tab. That's my way of reminding myself to do that. Does anyone else do that? I'm like, I need to do this later. Open a tab, leave it there. It'll be in my face tomorrow. That's my reminder. Tab. Alright. Okay, dude. I'm doing a whole lot of Guild Wars 2 Blade in the Guild Wars 2 category right now, aren't I? Alright. That's why I have 300 tabs open. Good God. Good God. Alright. Chat! It's a little early in the stream. It feels weird, but it's right about the normal time that we do it. So, let's do the weekly Guild Wars 2 themed giveaway. We got some goodies. We're gonna do it. Alright. So here we go. So for those who don't know, you're about to know, and then you'll know. This is our giveaway vault. I've beaten the game. I have full Leggy armor. I have everything I need. If people send me stuff, because they like me, I'm like, hey, you're awesome. Thank you so much. Do you mind if I will use this for a giveaway? And what you have here is a collection of such stuff. If you would like to send me things and you don't mind it going to the giveaway vault, feel free to do so. We just will basically pay it forward. So I am going to take 10 things out of here. I will not tell you what they are going to be yet, but I promise they all have value. Every winner will get at least 10 gold, maybe hundreds of gold, depending on what you get. If you want to enter the giveaway, hold on, I am booting up the giveaway bot. This is what you need to do. Rule number 1, you need to be a follower if you're on Twitch or a subscriber if you're on YouTube. That's the free button. Doesn't cost you anything. There's no downside. Rule number 2, if you are a subscriber on Twitch or a Patreon patron, that is the paid for stuff, you get 1 extra chance to win. Because you pay for my food, and I'm showing my appreciation. Because I can't get, ramen is cheap, but it's not free. All right? Rule number 3, it's a good time to use your Prime subs if you got one. That's what I'm getting at there. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. And rule number 3, if you want to enter the giveaway, enter your Guild Wars 2 display name in the chat 1 time starting now. If you don't know where to find that, it's up here. You click on contacts, it's right there. This is nothing private, that's just your mailbox. Oh yeah, hello patron. That's just, who do I mail the prize to? That's it, that's what this is. It's your account mailbox. I'm showing mine right now. Also, do not spam your name, because we have this feature that we implemented because I think it's funny, where if you type in your name more than 3 times, you ban yourself. Because I think that's hilarious, honestly. So don't do that. Hi, Flute. So don't do that. Do not do that. What if you type someone else's name 3 times? You don't ban them. You banned yourself like on Twitch or on YouTube. Like if Bob types in Flute Girl, Flute Girl, Flute Girl, it just bans Bob and removes his entries. It doesn't ban Flute. Bob says, what? Why me? Hi, Bob. Sorry, I'll say Billy next time. Do we have a Billy here? Can I make fun of a Billy? Wait, Bob on YouTube said what? Oh my god, dude, there's a Bob in both chats I've made mad. Oh, god, I'm glad I didn't say Karen. What did Billy do? Billy is the DPS that stands in the fire in every one of my videos. Muck, can you play Flute Girl clip you have for Riftbreaker? I have 1 Flute Girl button. I assume it's this one.
I'm gonna shove all this yeast up somewhere. It's gonna go where the sun don't shine.
An anonymous user gifted a tier 1 sub to Coffee Butt Chug.
Twitch allows the name Coffee Butt Chug. Okay. Thank you, anonymous user. This guy swings by once a day, gifts a sub to the weirdest freaking names on the platform, and then goes, anonymous user, hooray! And then just flies off into the sunset. Every day. I have a love-hate relationship for it. This dude just woke up. He's giving me the stink eye right now. And, oh, are we gonna flop again? Are we gonna flop again? I feel like you're getting ready for it. He's thinking about it.
An anonymous user gifted a tier 1 sub to tapeworm_enthusiast.
Tapeworm enthusiast. Chat, you can only gift a sub to a name that exists on the platform. If he gifts a sub to these weird, these rude, crude, lewd piece of pre-chewed food dudes, that means Twitch said, yeah, that name's fine. Enthusiast. Oh my god. Does he has the brain cell? Chip has both of the brain cells. I understood that reference. Stoic, you're a real one. I should have picked questionable Twitch names to get free subs. Calligraphy Nut has subscribed with Prime subs. Calligraphy! I got a whole set of weapons here that literally have your name on it. Have you seen these? The calligraphy weapon set. It's gorgeous! I'm inspecting the ad during the giveaway. Do it. Check DMs, there's a name on Twitch I almost gifted a sub to. So if you go to gift sub and you type in Mukluk, these are Twitch usernames. We've got Mukluk, Mukluk Ellie's, Mukluk's new lover, don't tell my wife, Mukluk Zzz, Mukluk Mukluk's 16210, and finally, Mukluk has big peen. I'm thinking of Flambe singing in Dispatch right now. Thank you, Secret Admirer. That's where the new lover came from? Oh, okay. Is it true? Is it? I have a PG family-friendly stream. I am not going to tell you anything more than I have not heard any complaints. Okay, chat, the timer has resolved. Stop the spamming. It doesn't do anything except make me mad. Here we go. Let us get out our goodies here. I should have done this during the giveaway, but I was stun-locked by the tapeworm name. Let me get some stuff out here. Meh. You talked openly about your vasectomy. I told a funny story of something, and I did it in a family-friendly way. All right, I was just like, yeah, there was a surgery, and I was awake for it, and I was staring at the ceiling, and these funny conversations happened nearby, right? I wasn't like, oh, there was blood everywhere, my guts were all over the floor, you know, and I don't know what voice that is. I don't know where that came from. But, you know, like, there's a difference, okay? There is a difference. All right, hang on just a second. Okay, I'm gonna get these in order here. All right, triangle here, and then this thing, and then that, and then, I don't know, like this guy. Oh, Ghostly Infusion is like over here. Thunder Crab would be like the first prize. This is like 50. What is this worth? Like 22? I don't know, something like that. Probably like that. Okay. All right. There we go. Okay, chat. It's time. It's time. All right. If your guts are all over the floor during a vasectomy, your doctor is definitely not cutting the right. But no, it was look. There was like funny. There was two funny conversations that happened during that very minor surgery, and I do mean minor. Like it was nothing. And I've already told that story, so I won't go into it right now. Y'all are here for free stuff. But yeah, it was just some funny conversations with the doctor that happened. All right, here we go. Winner number 1. What are you getting today? Thunder Crag Mace Skin. This is what it looks like. Part fire, part lightning, part bonk. That is it right there. Thunder Crag Mace. You could sell this, or it's a mace skin. You could add it to your account and unlock this for all future bonking accessories. If you don't want it, you could sell it, and you'll get yourself around 11 gold. Oh! Pick a winner. What are these names today? Far Warts. Are you here? Far Warts. This is a YouTube name. Please respond, Mr. or Mrs. Warts. Hello! Is it bedtime? Hold on, chat. While we wait on Mr. or Mrs. Warts, I'm gonna tell the boy goodnight. Give me 1 sec. Okay, we're back. All right. Ward says yes. So clearly overcome with emotion. Mail item. Paste. Mail. Congratulations. All right. So far, 100% of our winners have been on YouTube, chat. Crazy. Winner number 2. You are going to be getting 500. That is 2 stacks of Trick or Treat bags. That is 2 of these, so roughly just under 20 gold in Trick or Treat bags. Now you could just sell them and get just short of 20 gold, or you could open them, which is basically gambling. You will get lots of crap, maybe some super expensive stuff. It is up to you if you are of the gambling persuasion. All right. Pick a winner. Panther Silver Elf. Are you here? What's up, Mud? Not Mud. What's up with you, Austin? Doing good. Panther Silver Elf says, I am here. Copy name. Mail item. Mail item. Paste. Send mail. All right. Congratulations. Okay, thanks, Muck. Had to cough a bit. You're quite welcome, Mr. Warts. All right, next item, chat. Dragon Essence Dagger. So these are interesting. They're kind of like little lightsabers. If you stow it, look, you see the hilt of the dagger is on my character's like side. No blade, right? But when you draw the weapon, this energy dragon goes down the hilt and then the blade appears. It's a little more subtle on the dagger than it is on like the greatsword, but that's it right there. So it's like half solid, half energy. And if you do not want it, you could sell it for upwards of 25 gold. Pick a winner. Mixed Stew. Is that new on the dollar menu? Is Mixed Stew here? Mixed Stew 6899. Are you here? McDonald's stew, wouldn't want to try that. It's made with whatever was clogging up the ice cream machine. They said, thank you, Muck. We got a live one. Has anyone ever won something they gifted? I don't recall. I don't immediately think of a time. Send me. Muck showing his age by referencing the dollar menu. I'm old enough to remember the dollar menu. I don't remember gas being a quarter or anything like that, though. All right, chat. Next up, vintage Black Lion weapon box. If you open it, you will get a random thing from this. So there is a chance you'll get something worth much less than the box, or there's a chance to get things that are worth much more than the box, okay? The box itself, if unopened, you could sell for 46 gold. Or you could open it and test your luck. Maybe you'll get something worth less than 46 gold, maybe you'll get something worth way, 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 way more. Big winner. Heartfulness. Are you here? Muck, you're older than Google, my man. That's true. I actually remember when Google wasn't that great, and people would often use Yahoo search engine. It would be like, you know, Yahoo or Ask Jeeves, Dogpile. Google was like just starting out. Yeah, now Google's like, of course, like the main thing you use as a search engine, but at that time period, it was there was like 5 that were okay, and none of them were great. Here, wow, nice. Congratulations, Hart. All right, hold on, copy name. Mail item. Pasty, pasty, paste. It's in me. Congratulations. Do you remember when AT&T was singular, or do you date to ancient Bell South times? I remember Bell South. Yeah, what was it AirTouch? My dad actually owned a small company that was selling cell phones when they were like bricks and pagers, and it was actually when AirTouch made some change that basically put all those small companies out of business, and then it ended up changing my dad's profession. But yeah, I do remember that, because I was occasionally hanging out at the office while Dad was working. Did you know pagers still exist? It's kind of dark, but I realized pagers still existed when I heard about how they were recently used as a weapon in war. That was when I was like, oh, people still have pagers. Hartful says, thanks, you stole my first time giveaway. You're quite welcome. All right, next up. 25 Mystic Coins. 25 golden dollary dues. Now, these are worth just about 2 gold each, so we're getting about 52 gold for this small stack. Used in crafting Mystic Clovers and Legendaries and tons of other things. But 25 Mystic Coins to do what you want to do with them. You can save them in your mat storage, you can sell them, or you can craft with them. Big winner! Style Droppin'. Are you here? Mike, do you still remember your messenger password? My messenger password? What messenger? I can think of like half a dozen websites that had a messenger on them. You know what though? I'll just make your question easy and say no, I probably don't remember my password. MSN? I don't think I ever used MSN. I did for a... I think, hold on, what was it? When I was dating Anna, who is now my wife, when I was dating her, she was using, I think, AOL Instant Messenger, and I downloaded it just to chat with her more easily. Because texting on a phone at that time was like, you know, you would hit like a number like 4 times for a letter. So well, I was like, yo, hey, do you use any instant messengers? And she used that, so I used that to chat with her all the time. So I think I used that one. But I didn't really talk to anybody else with that. Pasty, 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 pasty. Send me. Texting also. Yeah, texting. Yeah, you would get a fee added onto your phone bill anytime you send a text. I feel like since I'm 35-year-old, Muck has to be a little older than me. Yeah, that's when I hit you with a curveball. Like, yeah, man, I remember when fire was invented. Oh, man. Yeah, we were all just whoo in the cave, and then some guy comes in. Oh man, dude, blew our minds. Oh man, dude, nothing like cooked mammoth meat after a hard day. Cannot go back to raw mammoth meat after that. Vandal Savage game of streamer name what? Alright, next up. 250 purple balls, aka globs of ectoplasm. These are used in crafting countless items in the game, hundreds, possibly thousands of recipes. And a stack of them is worth 54 gold. Additionally, they are also used for gambling. I don't recommend this, but there is a merchant in the game that you can spend gold and ectos and get back a random amount of gold and ectos. It's gambling. So these are crafting items and also gambling tokens. So, good luck to everyone except Charmon. Peek a winner. Charmon, you did not win. Is Boongineer here? That sounds dirty. Boongineer. Dude, I almost, hold on, let me show you this. I almost read this as bong. And then I was like, wait. I was like, bong in ear. Is bong in ear here? Mr. or Mrs. Bong. Boon's an engineer. Yeah, I get it now. I get it now. That's me. No, it's not you. I'm looking for Boongineer on Twitch. Are you in both windows? The winner is Boongineer on Twitch. Not the guy in YouTube yelling, it's me, it's me. If you attempted to enter in 2 tabs, you better alt-tab. Got so many random people like, it's me, I swear. It's me, there we go. There, I'm on both, all right. I should stress to chat that entering the same name on both does not increase your chances to win. He did win fair and square. But I had to get him to respond on the proper account, or else it was not going to him. All right. Congratulations. Send me. All right. 4 prizes left. Are these salvage-o-matics worth buying? Having at least the copper fed is game-changing. Being able to constantly salvage stuff with an infinite use kit anywhere in the world is amazing. The other 2 are nice, but not required. Okay, hang on a sec. Give me Muck a coffee. Sure. Cheer for the snails. We'll come back to that. Let's see. Wizard hat. Fine. Let me knock out some of these requests. I really need some kind of like gizmo on a string that just lowers the hat onto my head when y'all do it. And then when the time's up, it lifts it back up. It's like a little elevator. Okay, good. Charmon says Curse of the Rat. Charmon, watch that video of how that dwarf played. Learn how to get good. I already watched it. Now it's your turn. All right, Dragon Essence Spear Skin. Another weapon from the Dragon Essence collection, where it's like partly solid, but then when you enter combat, the dragons come out and the blades come out. Little lightsaber things. That's it right there. A very cool little... Is that... What is it called when a web... Is that a glaive? That's not a glaive. Is it a type of glaive? When you've got like a pole arm and it has the moon thing on it. What's the proper name for that? That's a halberd? Is it a halberd? That's not my mental image of a halberd. Okay. Alright, well, there's a lot of people saying halberd, so you're probably right. Alright. Anywho, if you don't want this halberd, it sells for upwards of 47 gold. Lichtenheim! The name sounds angry. He's Lichtenheim here. Crescent Axe? Sure. I am here, my lord. Okay. Copy name. Mail item. Peace. See meal. Congratulations. All right. Congrats. All right, here we go. 3 more prizes. So next one is a ghostly infusion. Now infusions are still tradable after they're equipped, so I can show you what this does by sticking it in my pants. So, you notice I equipped it, and I've got some little trails of like blue and black wispy flames coming off of my character. That is what the ghost infusion does, and it also stacks. If you get 6 ghost infusions, or up to 6 ghost infusions, it will stack as long as they have different stats on them, and you can look like you are almost a shadow priest from World of Warcraft. If you do not want this, it can be sold for upwards of, let's just round this, 69 gold. Nice. Big winner. I'm dense. Are you here? Mike, have you ever played Gaia online? No, I did not ever get around to that one. Whoa, I am dense. You am dense. Congratulations, Mr. or Mrs. Dense. Mail item. Send mail. Congratulations. All right. 2 prizes remaining, and then I'm poor. Is there any way of turning off an infusion visual? Yes. Take it out of your pants. Next question. All right. 7 Reaper's Spear Skin is the next item. An item we've never given away before, ever before. This is what it looks like. Very edgy spear. It's got a chain hanging off of it. It's got dangly bits. I know y'all love the dangly bits. It's got the Mountain Dew glow, all that good stuff. And if you do not want a 7 Reaper Spear, you could sell it for up to 136 gold. Yowza. Big winner. Vandal 1-3. Are you here? Instructions unclear. Took it out of my pants. Got arrested. Not that it. The other it. The ghostlies need to be different stats for the effects to stack. Yes. Yeah, so like if you've got a ghostly infusion that has power on it and a ghostly infusion that has condition damage on it, the graphics will stack. But if they both have power, it will not graphically stack. Just talking about the animation, not talking about the stats. Vandal says, did I miss the giveaway? Shut up, man. Shut up and take your prize. Mail item. Pasty, 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 pasty. Send mail. But it's kind of funny. Vandal routinely joins my Twitch chat an hour or 2 late every Tuesday and says, dude, I missed the giveaway. And I always say yes. This time he was here on time and won, and then he still asked me, did I miss the giveaway? It's like he's just got one button on his keyboard and it says that sentence. Send mail. All right, chat. The last very strange prize. A reminder that what I give you guys is what is provided to me by the community. And someone in the community really likes chicken nuggets. I'm calling these chicken nuggets. 200 bowls of poultry satay. Now you might be thinking, Mukluk, why is 200 bowls of chicken schmeat worth anything? And the answer to that is because the new legendary backpack is a demon. And you have to trade it food to earn its obedience. So to make the legendary backpack, you have to give it many, many different foods, including this. So if you win this, I strongly encourage you, do not eat it. Use it to craft the legendary backpack, or sell it to someone who is crafting the legendary backpack. If you eat this, this will be the most expensive meal your character's ever eaten. All right, so 200 bowls of chicken schmeat. Some nuggies. All right, last prize for today, friends. Cross your fingers, cross your toes, use a lifeline, phone a friend, poll the audience, do that 50-50 thing, pick a winner. YouTube again? Who's hacking on my YouTube? Nixter XO If you respond in 30 seconds, the prize is yours. Otherwise, I'm calling somebody else. Honestly, the odds of this, because just numbers-wise, right? There's 5 times as many people on Twitch as there are on YouTube right now. So the fact that YouTube won, what was it, like 4 prizes? 4 or 5 prizes? That's against the odds. Chat, I think he's here. I think they're present. You didn't shill. Oh, sorry. You have to follow me on Twitch. Subscribe on my YouTube. Yeah, here's the patrons. They're amazing. Subscribe to the Patreon. Subscribe to my second YouTube as well. Mukluk Plays just at 10,000 subscribers. Woo! Throw your credit card at the screen. Buy plushies if I have plushies. I don't have any plushies right now. Okay, that's it. All right, thanks. My letter. Beast. Send mail. Hold on, double check this. Okay. Enjoy your chicken schmeat, Nick. Congratulations.
Wigged. And wobbed.
Muck needs to relearn his Twitch shill basics. It seems the voice acting work is making him get lazy. Yeah, but I'm really good at voice acting though. Yeah, after my one single class, I am now an expert in the field, and I can sound like the pervy guy from Family Guy.
We can settle this like responsible young adolescents. Whoever can swallow the most Tylenol PM wins.
Okay, to be fair, I had that very cursed skill before I went to that class.
Where's that muscly on Paperboy bringing me the good news?
You sound like Winter Gaming. Don't know him. I'm sure he's amazing, though. That's not Quagmire. I wasn't talking about Quagmire. What's a Quagmire line? All I got is giggity giggity goo. Giggity giggity goo. Can you delete that skill? Can you act all the roles with deep emotional reactions for Macbeth in that voice yet? Can you? I don't know the story of Macbeth. I did, however, play Mercutio in a classroom play of Romeo and Juliet.
Time to reopen the Book of Muck lore. How he says souls like too much, denies that salmon is a color, is afraid of trains, hates art, is cruel to snails, hates horses, scared of Funko Pops, belongs to the Church of Thigh-High Stockings, leeches off of Guild Wars 2 metas. These are all true and not at all made up.
There's a couple there that are pretty stretched. Okay, hang on a sec. There we go. Can you play all the roles in The Lion King in the voice since you clearly don't know about all the roles in The Lion King? Oh, I just can't wait to be king. Do 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 do. Do I have to do the instruments too? Do 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 do. Oh god, I don't even remember how some of the characters sounded. Like I remember there was like Zazu the bird. I can't picture his voice though. Musical numbers too. Everybody look left. Everybody look right. Hakuna Matata. What a wonderful phrase. Ain't no passing craze. Please do the I've got some popsicles down here in the cellar line. Hold on, what was the full line?
You've been working hard out there today. If you want a snack, I got some for you. So I got some popsicles, but they're down in my basement.
I don't remember word for word that one. I kind of ad-libbed there. Oh, and there was the one where he's like, okay, hold on, I just remembered another one. He's like,
oh, I owe you some money for my newspaper, but it's in my pocket, but you know, my arthritis. Why don't you reach on in there and fish it out?
And the kid's just like, oh, that's funny, mister. We don't collect until the 15th, and just rides off. And he's like,
get your fat ass back here.
Oh, man. PG streamer? Yes, PG streamer. This is family-friendly, Family Guy impersonations. Is it Cellar or Freezer? I don't remember, man. That clip was like 15, 25 years ago. I don't know. Family is literally the name of the show. Yeah, that makes it fine. That makes it okay. Right? That makes it okay. As long as family's in the name. What's the best use of astral acclaim? Your first set... Oh, shoot. Okay, so if... Did they just dox me? I don't know. No, I don't think they did. Okay, there we go. Anyway, your first set of Ascended gear, bags of gold, lots and lots of gold you can get here. That's always nice. Any cosmetics you care about. The legendary starter key, if you plan on making a legendary, this will save you like half of the cost. Those are my main things. How many coins is in a bag of coins? Just says 1 gold. So wait, these are... Okay, so is bag of coins just this, but then... Or this one? Alright, so it's just this, but it costs more. Boop. I don't recommend you get this. I just like these. Okay. Let's see. That. Okay. Alright. Okay, chat, we have got something that we need to do for November. Wait, what? Oh God. I have a Discord channel with my son. And I've told my son if he sees anything he thinks is cool and he wants me to see it, he can put it there. And it's really neat because his mom doesn't participate in this, so I'm like way more in tune with stuff he likes because like he'll send me just random YouTube videos and clips and stuff he thinks is neat all the time. And he is really hype right now that MatPat is going to be in the next Five Nights at Freddy's movie, which comes out this week, the sequel. The family group? No, not family. It's literally just me and him. And he doesn't, I make sure he's just not talking with anybody else on Discord. It's just, it's there if he wants to send me anything. That's it. It's just me and him. Discord, what's wrong with WhatsApp? I've never used WhatsApp. Anyway, yeah, he's excited for MatPat and Five Nights at Freddy's. Is MatPat the same character as the next one? No, MatPat is voicing Toy Bonnie. So he's voicing one of the murder robots in the second movie. Muck, you're next to me in game. Lucky you! Let's see. You have a dad? Yes, I have a dad, Blue. I've shown you a picture of him. He looks just like me. Okay. Alright. So, Q&A time. We're going to do the monthly Q&A chat. Alright, so, hang on just a second. Let me get to the chat. Oh, hello! Hello! Is that your question? Okay. Alright, let me open this up here. Okay, not many questions here. Alright, so here's how this works. Every month we do a Q&A. Long ago, this was a Patreon perk, and I was made of poor. I smelled of poor. I looked of poor. And I was like, if we get above this stretch goal on Patreon, I will do a monthly Q&A. It was just one of the little things that we did. And we have been above that goal ever since, so I continue doing the Q&As each month. And so I have a list of questions here that patrons have sent me, and I'm going to make sure to answer all of these. On top of that, if people in the chats have questions they want to send in, I will try to answer those as well. And this can be a 10-minute thing or an hour thing. I don't really care. I'm here for it either way. First question, Darth Mole says, can you show the gather nodes level thing in the guild attributes again? Okay. If you go to a guild hall right here, there's this list of, no, it doesn't show it there. Hold on, I will go to a guild hall and I will show you. You may have to be an officer to see this. However, in a guild, there are 5 levels of a thing called synthesis output. Starts at 0, so that's the first level, is having it at 0 unupgraded. Then there's upgrading it to level 1, 2, 3, or 4. So from 0 to 4, there's a total of 5 levels. It's this right here. It looks like a ball. So there's synthesis 1, so there's 0 upgrades, then there's 1, there's 2, there's 3, then 4. That is what determines whether or not guilds share a cooldown when you mine one and then mine another. So if you're in multiple guilds of different synthesis output levels, then you can harvest all of them. Okay. So, first question from a patron, Illusionist Zarin. Says, how has life been for you and the fam recently? We've been... Hi. Okay. We've been good. My boy just finished his Thanksgiving break, so he is very sad to be going back to school now. But he's doing pretty good in school. My wife is still helping me out with content creation and stuff like that. She only massively damaged my YouTube channel once this month, so, you know, things are looking up. And I am still doing my thing. As you guys saw when we did the stream recap stuff for the year, I had streamed every single day this year, although one day was just a couple of minutes. That was a cop-out. That was while we were in Seattle. But we have streamed every single day this year, and it's going really well. Right now, you know, I'm still dividing my time between Guild Wars 2 and other stuff. I'm still very much enjoying the variety of stuff and hugely appreciative of all the people that still watch me when I'm not doing Guild Wars 2 things. That keeps me sane and keeps me from getting burned out on the game. As you know, I have like 10,000 hours in the game, so it's like I've done everything. So I enjoy getting to try other things. Like we just in the last couple weeks, you know, we played Mega Bonk, we played Ball X Pit. Played Age of Wonders 4, Drova, Total Chaos. We tried Where Winds Meet. I didn't like it. We finished Lost Idlelands. I played 2 of the Metro games, Escape from Duckov, Dispatch. We finished Borderlands 4, and we played... No, this was something someone gifted me. I have not played that. But all of that was just this month. So, yeah, I'm really loving getting to try out all of these different things. It's wonderful. Any RL plans for the holidays? Just seeing what family I have left. That sounds grim, but I don't have a lot of family members that are still with us. So I just saw them for Thanksgiving, so I'll see them again around like Christmas, I would imagine. That is the main plan. So nothing too crazy. Shadow says, Ben Nolat says, how do I deal with the CC bars, a power necro and solo? You could stack fear on it, possibly. Things like Cripple and Chill still do damage. There are some mobs with CC bars so big, you will struggle to break them on your own. You know, like that is a thing. But you can, if it's important to you, you can take like the talent that increases the duration of fear, or the trait, and then you can just like make sure to have more fear in your kit, stuff like that. Ira says, according to a really weird ChatGPT convo, it says you are roughly 37 years old. They have a lot to say about you and even provided an image. AI is creepy. Well, that's incorrect. I'll tell you that is not my age. But, okay. Another question, will you ever forgive Invisigirl? I don't need to forgive her. I just need her to be out of my life. When I fired her, she could have gone and like gotten a job at Wendy's, but she decided to go do more crime. Like, that was her choice. I mean, that's between her and the United States government at this point. Flesh Golem goes mash. Gotta have the occasional second monitor content. Yes. Okay. What are your thoughts on this year's Game Awards nominees? Any predictions? Okay, so they submitted this question 10 days ago. I predicted that Expedition 33 was going to win a whole bunch of stuff. I didn't have it. I did not say any like specific details. I said Silksong certainly has a strong chance for winning some stuff because like it had, it crashed 3 stores when Silksong came out, right? Like it had a very big audience that was waiting for it with open arms and ready mice. But my prediction was Expedition 33 was going to just do awesome there. The first half of the year before Expedition 33 came out, I was predicting Split Fiction and or Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 was going to get the prizes. And I didn't see anything with Split Fiction. KCD 2 did win some stuff, so that was cool to see. Okay. The plushie is estimated to deliver Friday. I have had multiple people message me and say that they received the plushie already. I actually got one very funny picture from a, well, let's just say these plushies have found a very, very happy home. This is from someone in our Discord. I'll just move that back over there. Okay. Is there a best spooky moments from October 2025 compilation video in the works? I love those. I'll have to ask Noxxi if she got enough clips from like scary moments. By the way, Noxxi hates getting those, chat. Noxxi, you guys have abused me enough that I've built up a tolerance to the scares a little bit, right? Noxxi has no such tolerance. There was one day that Noxxi told me she was like going through, this was last Halloween. She's going through the VODs and looking for the scary moments to clip out. And so she was watching this 2 days later, and she got to a really bad one and like screamed and threw themselves backward. And it was like, look, if like this is the desk and this is them, they threw themselves backward and their chair like slid under the desk and they ended up like poof, like that. And their office is very tiny, so she was like pinned between like the wall. It was really stupid. I was laughing because it was like something that chat made me play scared Noxxi like 3 days later. So that is going to be fun for multiple reasons. But that if we got enough clips, yes. Because obviously we want to make the most of those clips. If we got enough of them, then yes. Let's see. Toka says, any manga recommendations? Any manga recommendations? Okay, I've got a million mangas bookmarked right now. There is one I'm reading, and I'm not even sure if I can say this. And it's called Entomologist in the Sichuan Tang Clan. I think this is a Korean manga. They might call it a like manhwa or something. Anyway, this one is about a guy who was like, what would the equivalent be in our world? It was, oh gosh. What was a... Dang it, Steve Irwin? Was that the... was that the guy that got stung by the manta ray? The guy that really loved animals? Was that Steve Irwin? Okay, yeah, thank you. All right, so in this manga, it's kind of like an isekai, but they did it very differently, and I appreciate that. So there is a guy who, he's like a YouTuber, and he loves animals, but he loves venomous ones. He is all about like spiders and like the murder ants and snakes and scorpions and stuff like that. However, in the manga, dude, they always draw the venomous creatures almost like Pokemon, like they're very chibi and cutesy and stuff like that. But he ends up dying at one point, and he's reborn in another world. He doesn't have any magic powers, but he has all the knowledge he had from his life as this like YouTuber. And so he still likes these animals. He starts taking them as pets and stuff like that, and eventually he's got this like full-blown you know, I don't want to say house, but almost like a building that was like a ruined building he found, and he's using it to just raise all these venomous creatures, and he's got them like pets. And it's like he becomes kind of like a little legend / hermit in that area because he is just like, oh yeah, you need a murder centipede? Yeah, I got that. Yeah, you're not going to do anything weird with it, are you? You know, stuff like that. And anyway, it's been really interesting. It's been a very good read. I get excited whenever a new issue of that comes out. It's been very unique. It's not like harem. It's not like power fantasy, anything like that. It's just a clever dude. So I like it. That's one I'm enjoying right now. There you go. Okay. As far as I understood it, he sees the creatures as cute, but others see them as they usually are. I'm not sure. He definitely sees them as like, oh my god, they're so precious. And they always look like really cutesy for him and stuff like that. A nerd out manga about bugs. The thing is, like, the world he's in has, like, people with ki and stuff, you know? Like, they can jump off trees like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, and do all kinds of insane stuff. He's just a knowledgeable dude about bugs. So, like, he does get some opportunities to learn some weird skills that are, like, out of our world. But he's very much just a weak, clever guy, and I appreciate that. I like that. That's one of the reasons I love Kingdom Come Deliverance so much, is like, you weren't necessarily the hero of the story, you were just like a clever guy trying to live through some crazy situations. He's like Goric? Yeah. Yeah, he's basically like Goric personality. Yeah, he gushes over like, you know, like bugs and stuff like that. Mug, never mind my last question. Apparently the answer was B. What is the Euthyphro dilemma? Whether the soul's immortal or the mortal... Wait, yeah, I have no idea what you're talking about. Mug, do you think you will have to cut back on streaming or forget about us in order to develop voice acting? Weebs, I'm surrounded by weebs. A little bit blue. I admit, I do enjoy some anime, some manga. I don't have little figurines or anything like that. But no, I enjoy it, and I'm open about that. I don't think so, Laika. Like, I'm very proud of the streak that we have, right? Right now is just a crazy opportunity. Like, just me and a bunch of other streamers got invited for a mystery game to possibly voice in it. And the person who is heading the project says that they've been where we are, and rather than, like, hire super professional talent, he wants to see if they can cultivate any new one. So they've paid for these workshops from very professional voice actors, and, like, we can attend them, and they're already paid for, and then we can send in, like, our attempts at reading scripts for characters, and if they like them, we're hired. So there's no guarantee anything will come of this, but at the very least, I get an opportunity to develop a skill, which, so far, it's been fun. Like, it's honestly, like, at any point in your lives, have you ever tried something that you were like, oh, this looks like it could be cool, and then you're like, oh my god, I love this. Like, whether it was a video game, or a book, or, like, cooking, or drawing, or just something you thought it might be cool, and you gave it a shot, and you're like, holy crap, this is fun. That is me with this. I am surprised by how much fun I'm having just, like, reading scripts and pretending to be characters and stuff like that. I'm like, dang, I shouldn't have been laughing at the theater kids in school, because I'm having a blast right now. So, yeah, dude, I would love if it works out. However, I would fully understand, because, dude, I'm a novice at this, right? I can do my own funny voices and stuff, but when it comes to, like, you know, just, like, selling this, like, to the point that they're looking for, I am a novice, and I recognize that. So if somebody else gets picked for any of the roles I choose, yeah, okay, all right. But yeah, I would absolutely, just because of how much fun I'm having, I would absolutely apply for other opportunities in the future if I see the chance to do it. Am I going to be full-time, like, going to classes and getting tutoring and stuff like that? I don't know about that. But it's been very fun so far. I can say that. What time is Reforged releasing? I know it releases tomorrow. I do not know what time. And if anybody knows what time, if they could put it in the chat for Iron. But I do not know what time. Mug, is Guild Wars 2 better than WoW? I played WoW for like 10 years, and I played Guild Wars 2 for almost as many years at this point. They are both fantastic games. I could not go back to WoW full-time after playing Guild Wars 2, though. Like, you don't have to hold still to cast spells. It has extremely fluid combat movement. You can cast most abilities while moving. It feels much better to play these days. In its philosophy, let's see. If Mug plays less games with voice acting and has to read lines normally, like, say, RPGs, he'd be able to practice voice acting and entertain his current audience. Dude, every time we played Disco Elysium or Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader, my voice was raw at the end of each stream because I had to read everything. It was like, and to be honest, I wasn't even voice acting. I was just reading it out loud for you guys. But my voice was shot because after every one of those streams, it was just 4 hours of me reading nonstop, no breaks. I know many successful VAs who also stream the games they voice in, so I, for one, am not worried about the streams. Any good Black Friday deals? Yes, Twitch subs are on discount. If you want to gift 100, you get 35%. No, I'm just playing with you. It was on sale, but that's not that. Dude, I'm a nerd. I just look at Steam. If there's like sales going on, I just look at Steam and I'll look at the Steam sales. That's it. That's me. Can you tell us about the personality of any of the characters you're practicing? No, I should not. Honestly, I'm being kind of, like, talking about it at all is kind of, but I'm being very vague, so you guys have no idea what the project is. I'm not going to talk about the characters or anything like that. I will say that I applied for, like, I sent in a take 1 for 6 different characters. And I was like, hope I'm not sending in too many of these. I was just having a lot of fun trying all these out. Teehee, uwu, you know, :3. And the guy's like, look, you can try as many characters as you want, but he sent me a lot of words, but it basically, if you just like squish it, he said chill. He's like, pick 2 or 4 and just focus on that. Just practice those. Yeah, you're spreading yourself too thin right now. And I'm like, okay. So I'm like, all right. I'm gonna drop these 2. I'm just gonna keep doing repetitions of these 4. So I picked my favorite 4. That's still that like there's some people that just did 1, and I'm just like doing 4. I picked my favorite 4, gave them all very different voices, and I'm just trying them over and over and over, and trying to see if I can get make something they like. Can you mention who any of the voice work people are that are the trainers? I could. I'm not going to. Because I don't know if there's a way for you to like look them up on LinkedIn or something and then find out what current project they're working on, and then you would trace it back to what I'm doing. And then I could get in trouble, and then no one's happy. So I'm just going to decline on doing that. Muck, why are all your characters except one Asura's? I like their animations. They, like, you see this little like wobble they do? Like their weapons are almost too heavy for them. And the fact that they can like backflip their entire height when they do a dodge roll. Like, they got, like, cricket legs, man. Like, dude, it's like Yoda in episode 2. Just bouncing off the walls. I love them. Just little dudes, big hats. Like, any of those introductions you've had at PAX gone anywhere potential fruition? No, actually. I have gotten a few emails from them. And I had SideQuest handle it to see if they wanted to, like, do any sponsored stuff or anything like that. But actually, no. So, right now, like, so far, just in terms of just money I spent to go out to PAX versus any money I earned from connections I made at PAX, there's no net gain at all. Not for lack of trying. I schmoozed, I shook hands, but did not happen. Let's see. Gotcha, that's a good point. Yeah, I appreciate you understanding. Show him why you have 1 human. No, not right now. If you could revoice any character from Guild Wars 2, who would it be? Honestly, at this point, so many people have heard me do the voice through my Asura doing the /talk, like in so many hundreds of videos, that a lot of people have told me that they associate me with like an Asura character. So I feel like at this point, it would be pretty accepting. Like people would be pretty accepting if there was just an Asura in the game, like an NPC that had my voice. But it couldn't be named Mukluk, I don't think. I think it'd have to be like a made-up character or something. But honestly, you know what would be really fun? You guys know the voice I use for the Get to the Point videos? Like, Mukluk long name here, and this is a guide to Cairn. Let's get to the point. Like, just the like, I am sick of DPS standing in the fire, like that voice. I would love to use that for a character. Like, long term. Like, I would love to do that. Hi, Muck. Yo, Malcolmus, what's up? Yo, we were just talking about Seattle. Specifically, we were talking about PAX. But, hey, what's up? How you doing? Your mucking bag lines from that video is seared into my brainy wainy. Oh, these, my baggies, my massive mucking satchels, my super stuffed pouches, my hunk. Yeah, I know the one. That is actually a parody of something else. And if you do not know what the something else is, I will not be teaching you. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. All right. Ask Anet if you can voice the Raid Finder's version of the Mist Stranger. I'm still trying to find out if I can make more plushes. I've been waiting for that for 6 months. Let's see. Like an annoyed Asura that just had it with some Ellie. Yes. Okay. Let's see. What's next? So Tuka wanted manga recommendations, and I recommended him Bugs. Let's see. Illusionist Zoran. I've heard you mention that you're enjoying practicing voice acting recently. Yes! If you continue, would you be interested in pursuing opportunities outside of video games, such as anime, audiobooks, or commercials? Absolutely. I would say, okay, I could probably get permission to read the Guild Wars 2 audiobook and, like, record it and put it up, just like how Mighty, I have said Mighty Potatoes so many times jokingly, now I'm accidentally doing it. I gotta chill on that. It's like Trebucket. Wooden potatoes, just like how wooden potatoes did. I could probably get permission to do that and do that. However, I will say reading lines versus reading an entire audiobook is daunting. Like, when you're doing an audiobook, you need to be speaking clearly where people can understand every word that you are saying, and you need to enunciate every syllable, right? I would probably have to do it like a few pages at a time over weeks, and then like stitch it all together in an editing program to have it be nice and clear, you know? That's a very daunting task. And I was actually learning a bit about this today, because like, let's say you get voice acting work for a different game, for various games, right? Like first-person shooters. What are some lines that you might need to record for a first-person shooter? reloading. I'm down. You know, it's just clear. You know, guy with defibrillator. It's just, yeah, frag out. You know, whatever. It's stuff like that. It's usually just like a few words. That's the whole line. It's like, you know, FPSs, it's stuff like that. And then at the other end of the spectrum, you've got the guy from Kingdom Come Deliverance that recorded 10,000 lines of dialogue for all the branching paths in the game because it's a massive RPG, you know? Or the announcer voice. We require more Vespian gas. Need more minerals. Not enough rage. Need more rage. You know, announcer voices. You know, again, lots of short, curt, you know, phrases, and that's it. But then again, you've got, you know, Zug Zug. Yeah, you're the king. Well, I didn't vote for you. Yeah, units that you click on too many times in Warcraft 3. Dabu. But then you've got stuff like, again, RPGs or audiobooks where it's just lots of reading. Tons of reading. There's whole bunches of it. He needs to voice a duck. He excels at it. A duck? Wait, what? I don't think I've ever tried a duck. I mean, when you say voice a duck, I think of one of the only talking ducks I think of is like Daffy or Donald. That's not bad. I've legitimately never tried that in my life. Muck Duck is the new X-Pac main character. Oh my god. Anyway. Perfect first try. Yes, yeah, that's it. Ship it. Clip it and ship it. Alright. Howard the Duck. Okay, I did not know who Howard the Duck was until he was in the outtakes that one Avengers movie. Reminds me of when Laura Bailey had to say vengeance 18 plus times for the Diablo 3 Demon Hunter. Sounds daunting. Yeah. That's so funny you were thinking about PAX. I was too, and I saw you live, so I want to say hi. I got back 2 weeks ago for my last Yellow adventure. Yo, I am envious and also happy for you that you got to go to ArenaNet again so soon. That was awesome. I saw some of the pictures, and I saw some of the video. I was, of course, doing my own show, so I didn't see a lot of it. But I saw some of the clips and stuff from when you were out there. That looked like a lot of fun, for sure. Did your husband stay sane in the car? Chat, Malcolm has told me last time that they were going back to Seattle to participate in the ANET thing, and they had to like drive like 18 hours or something like that. And I was like, my wife and my kid packed in a car for 18 hours, they would kill each other. And she's like, oh, I'll be fine, but my husband's gonna go crazy. I was like, okay. Let's see. Okay. So, what's the next thing? Yes, if you continue, would you be interested in pursuing opportunities outside video games such as anime, audiobooks, or commercials? Yes, I would love to. Yeah, I mean, commercials, come on, commercials, side effects may include nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea, and in some cases death. Consult your doctor before using Viagra. Yeah, dude, I can, boom, nail it. Like, the streaming thing, this is a means to an end. I'm just doing this until, like, big medicine picks me up. I am ready. I am ready for them. Like, and that was without a script. Imagine me with one. Let's see. Seth says, does Chip get anything special to eat on Thanksgiving? I'm sure we could get him some like tuna or something like that. It was so incredible. No, he didn't. LOL, 38 hours, 70 hours total. 38 hours? Oh my god, I rounded down. Oh man. It does not sound fun. Malcolmus, you're awesome. I don't think I want to be packed in the car with you for 38 hours. 37 tops. What was the next thing? Seth says, would you play a short 1-hour Christmas-themed spooky game at Christmas if I gifted you one? Christmas is not for spooky games. We already played one Christmas spooky game not too long ago. Oh, man. No. Yeah, we played Crimson Snow. And that was actually the last one, yeah. We played Crimson Snow, which was like a 1-hour horror game that was happening during Christmas time, during the Halloween month, when we were playing spooky games. We played a lot of like 1-hour long spooky games. Crimson Spud, Moonlight, but no, not that. I could see Muck doing outros of medicine products or gambling ads, like what's necessary to save it really fast just to get it into the ad time. Yep, really fast so people don't understand it. I meant the specific gig he's auditioning for. Wait, hold on, what was the question, Leica? If you get hired for one of the characters, will you have to go somewhere to record, or can you do it from home? I believe with this particular company, the goal... Okay, because one of the things they said when they were talking about who they were going to get was... they were like, one of the perks to picking streamers is you've all already got microphones. Now, I don't know if when they said that line, if what they meant was you can easily do takes, take one, take two, and make attempts without having to fly in or anything like that. But like for the final thing, would they want it, like if they're like, you're hired, I don't know if they would just have me record it on my mic and then they would clean it up, or if they would like have me fly in or something like that. I don't know. I do not know. I would say like, I would be happy to, like if it meant being in a game, like that sounds like such a fun opportunity. If it meant being in a game, I would absolutely be willing to fly somewhere for it, as long as it was like within the country. But it depends on like where it is for sure. Come to think of it, I actually don't know where they're based. Might be something to ask them. Like all of the meetings so far have been in like perfect English, but that doesn't really narrow it down. Like they could be in Europe or America or Canada. I don't know. I actually don't know. I think post-COVID, there are a lot more at-home voice acting gigs. It makes sense if you have a good sound already at home. They wouldn't need to waste all the money to fly you down. Yeah. And I'm happy with my sound. Like, over the years of being a streamer, I have tinkered with my mic settings many times, trying to make it sound as good as possible. Canada. If you are Canadians, you're from Canada. That's how it works. I'm sorry if you just learned this. So for Leggy Materials Gathering, is it better to directly buy the mats? It depends on the mats, Like, if you are... Like, okay, let's say I needed 250 blood. It's a lot easier to just farm gold doing whatever I want to do and buy 250 blood than it is to farm 250 blood off monsters. One thing to remember is to be careful not to go off axis on your mic. Yeah, I mean, my mic is usually just right here, pointed right at me all the time. I think post-COVID... Let's see. Spanish people are from Spanisha. What? They're from Spain. Don't be stupid. Murica logic? That's right. I was asking about home instance nodes. Wait, what? You said Leggy Material Gathering. I was asking about home... Okay, what? I don't understand how your second question is related to your first question. Okay, so at this point, I'm all caught up. I've finished all of the questions from the patrons that they submitted, and now I'm just looking at chat to see if you guys have any more for me. Americas are from America Land. America Land? United States of America Land. That's right. Mug, I just hit 80 for the first time. I got exotic gear. Do you recommend I just power through 90 fractals to get the Leggy gloves? So you don't burn yourself out, right? But if you can do a couple of fractals a day or something to, like, slowly make progress toward them, absolutely do that. It is a free legendary, effectively. Absolutely work on getting that, yeah. I was asking if you thought it was a good idea to buy home instance nodes for Leggy material farming. Pretty sure... Okay, so Leggy material farming... home instance nodes that give Leggy materials are like, I guess like the Season 3 and 4 nodes that give Season 3 and 4 currencies for like Aurora and Vision. I mean, it's nice to have them, but it will take them a very long time to get that for you. Like, if you just do Season of Dragons, you'll get that. So, if it's a project you're very patient on, sure. But it will take a long time. I've met rednecks from every corner of the U.S., honestly. Same. Dude, I live in Georgia, which is in the South, right? Like way down yonder on the Chattahoochee. I live in the South. And when I moved to Utah, which is in the Midwest, everyone's like, oh, you're from the redneck part. And I'm like looking around and like people have like cows in their yards and like there's a horse ranch on every corner. Like there was like a row of loggers. Like, you know, like in school you've got like the preppy kids and you got the jocks and you got the goths. Like there was cowboys. There was like a cowboy section at the school in Utah. And I'm like, you guys are calling me a redneck? Like, I'm seeing more rednecks in my high school than I saw in my entire time in Georgia. Like, what do you mean? But yeah, they're all over. Anywhere where there's farmland or ranches. Muk, Brazilian here. Have you ever been to South America? No. If you ever came to BGS Brazil Game Show, I'd go to see you for sure. Oh, thank you. I would say I would probably not like... I would probably not want to leave the country just because the United States border is really stupid right now. Not because of the other countries, but because of my own country. I'd be worried about getting back in. Because, yeah, it's crazy. But it's like, even the voice acting thing, right? If they're like, oh, can you fly to Europe? I'd be like, maybe. Too many horror stories going on. Does Muk have a passport? Not one. I have a passport that is expired like 80 years ago. When I was a kid, I left the country once because my dad had to go on a business trip to the Bahamas. And we went to, like, the islands on a plane, and my dad had to do work there, so for him it was a business trip, but for me and my mom, it was just like a vacation. So I went to the Bahamas for a few days as a kid. That's the only time I've left the country. But I have been to both ends of the United States, which is very, very different. Something I want to remind people from Europe is that our states can be as different from one another as your countries can be as different from one another. There's drastic differences. And I have seen both coasts. So I've seen the West Coast and the East Coast of the U.S. My family lives in Georgetown, but it brought me through a place northwest of there, right off 95. Mug is at least 80 years old. Mm-hmm. Same goes for Canada. Well, the north coast of Canada is uninhabitable, so up there it's like cavemen. Like, zug zug, sorry. It is a DPS or support ranger. Well, what I'm playing right now? I'm just untamed right now. I'm just kind of standing around and talking. I think... Is that the legendary land you learn fire at? No, I've never been to Canada. Have not visited our hat. Have not been there. Alright. I think we're all caught up. Alright, so... I need to end this video somewhere. So we'll say this is the end of the Q&A. You guys are welcome to still ask questions, but this will be where we cut off the Q&A for November. As always, thank you to our wonderful patrons. Could not do this without you guys. And if you've got any other juicy questions, you know, ask me on stream or let me know in the future, and we can add them to the next Q&A. Okay, there we go. Wonderful. All right. Let's see. Dirt roads labeled as highways and a road that was called Locks. I got something else. Lock, Hocked, and Barrel. Thanks, Q&A. Thank you. Come to the Poutine province. Do you have any idea how little that narrows it down? Does anybody know how to get the recipe for Superior Rune of the Trapper? Mike, I do not know, but you could check the wiki and see where that is. Just search for, you know, Trapper runes on the wiki. It's not that it's uninhabitable so much as that it's either native land or low population because not many reasons to develop towards colder north. It's Quebec. Oh, okay. Muck, is Ranger's Staff still a decent DPS weapon? Ranger's Staff is primarily a healing tool. So, here's Ranger's Staff. The 1 does healing and small damage, the 2 does healing and small damage, the 3 does healing and a movement skill, the 4 does almost no damage and a immobilize, and the 5 does a wall that blocks projectiles and some regen and a little bit of healing. So only the 1 and the 2 and the 4 do any damage. The 4 does almost none. The 2 does a little bit, but it's a very slow, like, projectile. And then it makes a healing field around the target. And then the 1 is just like the pin light. The real advantage of it, because I have taken it into PvP before and, you know, lasered people, is it's not a projectile. And it's instant travel time. So if you are shooting at someone with it, even if they put up a projectile block or something, which there's a ton of in the game right now, you can keep hitting them and, you know, keep eating through their Aegis stack and stuff like that. So it is, it does have its uses in a like PvP, but I wouldn't use it in PvE DPS. No way. Mug, by the way, why is my DPS considerably low in Freynier of Jormag? The others are okay. In Freynier, you fight the dude for a while, then he vanishes and you stand there waiting. He comes back as a golem, and then the golem's invulnerable and you stand there waiting. The golem dies and you stand there waiting, and the dude appears and runs away and you stand there waiting, and then he comes back. Like, there's a lot of periods of time during Freynier that you're just standing there picking your nose. So, your DPS, your damage per second, is your average damage across the whole fight, and there's a lot of moments during Freynier that you're doing nothing. So your damage will be lower. Let's see. I heard Superior Rune of Traffic. I'm like, where can I get one? Rune of Traffic? Oh my god. I've been using the /wiki a lot lately for knowledge since I found out you could do that. Yeah, it is pretty good. Magnetic Oromancers love to cuddle you with ranged attackers, with your own arrows making you the pincushion. Yeah. Yep. They do. That's why whenever anyone's like, oh, I want Ranger to get rifle or pistol, I'm like, no, we have enough ranged weapons with projectile problems. I don't need more. And then we got Gale Shot. Instead of Mukluk Trapper? No. I found the recipe on the TP. Okay, I'm glad you found it. Glad you found it. Ranger needs shield. I would love for Ranger to get shield for sure. How do you get the self stats? This right here? In Arc DPS, you check this box right here that says self stats. It shows your DPS, your HPS, and your barrier per second for the current fight. What if Ranger Rifle goes through projectile blocks? Why would they do that? That would be too good. Why would they do that? If they did that, it would have to have worse damage, just like the staff. Otherwise, it's like, where's the balance? Everything needs a counter. The problem is when something doesn't have a counter, or when there's more counters to a thing than the thing is itself. How to know if the encounter is better with power or Condi? First of all, you could do every raid boss of the game with a full power group or a full Condi group, with one exception. On Veil Guardian, there's one ad that spawns that can only be hurt with condition damage. That's the first boss in raid, so you could just have one guy go Condi for that. Every other fight you could do with all power, all Condi. However, there are fights where people will say power is better or Condi's better. And this took a lot of research from the player base, so you would just Google this. But bosses have different armor. Like, you guys know how like a Mesmer has light armor and a Warrior has heavy armor? Bosses have different armor ratings. So in some bosses, power does worse simply because the boss has higher armor class. And there's no way of knowing this without like talking to Snowcrows or something. That's the main thing. There's also phases. If the boss phases a lot, Condi is generally worse, because it's like you're like, okay, I finally got up all my dots, and he just went invulnerable and lost all the dots again. You know, every time that there's a phase, that reduces the effectiveness of condition damage. Dual wield shield win. The last time I played a game with dual wield shield was Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I shield bashed my way through the whole game. I better stop procrastinating and go back to doing artwork. Have a great night and stream Muka Chat. See you, Malcolm. It's good talking to you. I'm actually kind of excited for Luminary having the ability to break a light aura. I just wish it wasn't just friendly. It's why I've been there being a Zerg lead for over a decade now, or whereabouts. Maguma server and early Boonbally tactics drove me to the Zerg support, and then some, enjoying it the entire time. What's a good class spec for soloing all world content solo? Every single one of the 9 classes has some kind of build that is good for soloing open world content. I'm like, really early game, I would say Ranger because they got a pet in front of them, or Necro because they got minions in front of them. Guardian has constant healing from their early game virtues, stuff like that. If you're going into elite specs, like every class has something. Can engineers get some ranged weapons, please? Engies have gun. They're fine. Pistol, unload thief. Yep. Any class is fine as long as it's not Asura. Banned from all future giveaways. Unless I forget. Let's see. Where is something to wail on while we're yakking? Jungle Worm. Let's see. More classes need longbow. There are not many that have it. Wait. Wait. Was that triple trouble worm? I thought I was going to the other worm. I don't want to do triple trouble. Looks like these people want to do triple trouble. There's a lot of folks here. Let's see. Let's check Shatterer. Why do others reference Guild Wars 2 with the game with the most welcoming community? Are other games really that bad? Bow and arrow, forgive my grammar. No, you're fine. Okay, so why do people say that? All right, let me make some comparisons to other MMOs that I know. In early game World of Warcraft, the first person to hit a mob would tag it, and it's their mob. So let's say a rare mob spawns, and you wanted that, and someone else hit it first. In early World of Warcraft, the best way to get what you want was to get a whole bunch of mobs pissed off and run them over the person and try to kill them. Then their mob would reset, and then you could take it. Okay? That was how the game's systems encouraged you to act. It was basically like a D. Alright? In Guild Wars 2, everyone that hits a thing gets a copy of the loot. You do not compete with other people. You do not roll greed or roll need when things drop. Everybody just gets their own loot box when things drop. And you might get different things than the guy next to you, but there's no like dice rolls or anything like that where you're like rolling between players or anything like that. Additionally, there's just the community. Largely, like, Baron's chat in World of Warcraft is infamous, you know? Like, you ask someone where Mankirk's wife is, and they tell you how they met your mother last night. But if you are in this game, usually you ask a question, and the community, typically you'll have like 5 people whispering you and trying to help you. When you revive someone in this game, you get a massive amount of experience, which encourages people, even if they're doing it for greedy reasons, to revive and help each other, because they get a massive amount of XP when you revive people that go down. So it's just like the game's systems encourage good behavior, even if you're doing it for greedy reasons. And over the years, that has led to a very nice community. The PvP lobby is kind of like Guild Wars 2 Baron's chat. There are some bad eggs. I'm not for a second going to pretend like the game is 100% angels. But I would say the average experience I have talking to strangers in this game has been the best I've ever had when I compare it to EverQuest, EverQuest 2, World of Warcraft, Black Desert Online, WildStar, Rift, and like all the other MMOs that I've dabbled in over time. So it's just how it is. He's a druid. She'll deal with nature. Hi, patron. No open world PvP as well. True, and there are plenty of people that would like an open world PvP server, but yeah, at present there is not a thing. That is a lot of cakes. I am going to add my own cake to the pile. More cakes. So here people are like putting down food buffs so everybody else that doesn't have food buffs can get one and not have to pay for it. And here someone is putting down a communal boost bonfire and everybody can interact with this to get another buff. So people are just like sharing right now. Muck, have you done any PvP since VOE? I have not, no. Muck, you get the opportunity to add one class of each armor weight. Who are they and what's their theme? Bro, what? Alright, how about an actual bard for medium armor? Because Troubadour doesn't count. So, medium armor is done. Plate and cloth.
May Balthazar strengthen you.
Okay, you know what was the first thing I thought of when I thought of plate? Was the Priest of Sigmar in Vermintide. It's kind of like a battle cleric, right? Which, I mean, okay, Guardian could kind of be that, but I mean something that leans more into it. Like, we will smite our foes! You know, and the guy's like a book in one hand and a mace in the other, and it's like on fire. And he's in just like really heavy armor. Like, I mean, that's my full plate dream. Light armor. What is a light armor class fantasy? We've already got Mesmer, which is like an illusionist. We've got a necromancer, and we've got an elementalist. Wizard. Uses purely arcane energy, and he's actually a ranged class. Elementalist is like a melee wizard in our game. So how about an actual ranged mage? How about that? I'm trying to pull inspiration from other MMOs I've played. And for example, in EverQuest, there was Wizard, which was little, you know, skinny guy in robe, massive, like the biggest nukes in the game. Just like casting, 5 billion damage, right? And then there was the Mage. The Mage had the second largest nukes in the game, but they also had a pet, like an elemental, like an earth elemental or a wind elemental or a fire or whatever. So they had a pet, but then they had smaller nukes than the Wizard did. But they were both like cloth armor. But in our game, the way the Elementalist in our game kind of reminds me of like an airbender from Avatar. You know, like they're up close and doing almost like martial arts, and they're spinning like wind and rock and flame around them, and they're basically just turning themselves into an angry blender and running into the enemy. So it feels more melee oriented. Muck needs to use pistol and scepter more as an Ellie. Yo, I'm not the guy that's been playing Ellie and screaming I want a longbow for the last 10 years. That's been 10,000 other people. Could add monk. The Guild Wars 1 monk, yeah. Yeah, the Guardian is kind of a mixture of like a paladin and the Guild Wars 1 monk and the Guild Wars 1 writ. But it's none of those three things. It's like a slice of each of them. Muck adds the Giga Nerd profession. No, honestly, I'm just trying to think of something we don't already have, right? So in my head, I was like, Death Knight, that's Reaper. We got that. Necro, we got that. An Illusionist, that Illusionist is Mesmer. We got that. Bard, we don't really have Bard. We got Troubadour, that's not really Bard. So, okay, so I'll say Bard. That's what's going through my head, is I'm thinking of classes we don't have and trying to figure that out. Dragon's here, by the way. Muck, weird you didn't think of Dervish. Plague, remember I didn't play Nightfall. So, I know Dervish swung a scythe and spun around. That's all I got. Nightfall stream win. Nightfall will turn 20 years old next year. Maybe during the 20-year anniversary, if there is one. I think the game is slightly bugged. It's not playing the music for this boss right now. It should be. Muck, do you also play revive classes in WoW? No. In WoW, how have I told this story before? I tanked out of sheer spite for 10 years. So I was playing other roles early on, and then I'd be like, yo, tank, can you pull faster? Tank, can you pull faster? Tank, you lost aggro. Tank, taunt this off of me. Tank, stop pulling the healers out of mana. Are you not watching the healers' mana? Oh my god, you know, dude, that was me. So finally, I was just like, move over, I'll do it myself. And then that was me for the next 10 years. Luckily, I found some very competent people to play with, but I literally was tanking out of sheer spite for many expansions because I couldn't stand grouping with, because like the tank had so much control over the success of the group, and I just could not stand grouping with ones that were like super, super bad. Like I could not handle it. And so I was. When did I switch over? So I played in Vanilla World of Warcraft. I was in Enhancement Shaman. I was an Enhancement Shaman, and I was like melee, and I was buffing people around me, right? So like picture Molten Core. They would shove me in a group with 4 rogues, and I was plopping down totems, and they were loving me because I gave them Wind Fury on every pull, and they were just, you know, stabbing core hounds in the butt. That was me in vanilla. Burning Crusade rolls around, I want to play a Warlock. I make a Warlock, and no one I know can tank worth the crap. So I end up rolling a Blood Elf Paladin because the Horde had just gotten Paladins, and I wanted to play my Warlock, but no one, every time I tried to go on an Amani Bear run, we failed. So finally, some people begged me to go on my Pally, which I didn't even want to play, so I played the Pally to get a bunch of people bear runs done, because literally the main tanks in my guild couldn't handle bear runs, but I on my secondary character could. For anyone who doesn't know, a bear run was basically a timed raid. If you beat the raid within a certain time, a guaranteed drop, which was a war bear, would drop, and one person would get that mount. And then if you do it every week someone gets a mount. But you got to beat the timer every single week. So that was me in Burning Crusade. Wrath of the Lich King rolls around, I'm back on my Warlock, or I'm trying to be, and then we get to the Malygos fight. Malygos was a blue dragon made of magic. TLDR, they added a new mechanic where you had to pull a mob over to a specific spot. And the only person with a pull was the brand new Death Knight class. They had a skill called Death Grip. It was basically Scorpion from Mortal Kombat. Get over here! And you would do that. So we had to roll some Death Knight. So I'm like, okay, what is this thing? All right, Death Knight can be all right, I'll roll a Death Knight as a tank. And at the time, there was Frost, Blood, and Unholy. And they tried to make all three of them able to PvP, all three of them able to DPS, and all three of them able to tank. So I rolled an Unholy tank, which was all about anti-magic. So it was like really good in some fights and meh in others. And it also had a Ghoul Pet, which scaled with my health, so it was funny because my Ghoul Pet had more health than all of the DPS in our raid, so it outlived them all the time. So I'm playing this thing, and honestly, it felt like I was playing a different class every 3 months because they kept giving it a complete overhaul because it was like completely broken at the beginning, and they kept changing it over and over and over. So then, essentially, for the next like 5-6 expansions, I'm playing the Death Knight. By like a few years into it, I was just playing Blood, because Blood became the tanking class, and sometimes I healed myself with the vampiric stuff more than the healers healed the group. Like, I would be with the healers on the healing meter, and it would just be self-healing. So it was kind of perfect, because like, I could run a 5-man dungeon, and I could set the pace, I could keep things moving at a brisk pace, and if the healer was sucking, I could make up for that too, because of the Blood thing. Whereas, like, you know, warrior tanking, for example, could not do that. At that time. I don't know if that's ever changed. But like a warrior tank, you are extremely in the hands of your healer. Like the group is in the hands of the tank is in the hands of the healer. And so imagine like playing hardcore WoW and then you die just because like you're in a group and the healer sucks. And like if you're the tank or the healer, you are the first ones to die if something goes wrong. The DPS are the last ones to die. They can often get away or feign death or vanish, stuff like that. But yeah, that's basically it. So for most of my time in WoW, and during the entire time that I was leading like competitive content, I was on the Death Knight. Whelps Handle It. No, I was the enhancement shaman during Whelps Handle It. Like I said, that was vanilla. The days of broken DKs, those were fun. Blood being immortal in PvP for almost 9 months, even with massive repeated sweeping nerfs that made it nearly unusable in PvE at various points. Mike, I thought of another VA question, if you don't mind. Would you want to be in a game's credit as Mukluk, or would you use your real name? I imagine it would be like Michael, Mukluk, and then my last name. I imagine it would be like that. Wrath Warrior Tank was amusing because they made it scale with AP, Q tanking, and DPS gear, and Revenge Cleave. Yeah, I remember Wrath of the Lich King, I believe, added a mechanic called Vengeance, where your attack power increased based on how much damage you had taken recently. So if basically you weren't high on the meter, but you were like just below the DPS on the damage meter if you were the tank getting beat on. Have you tried D4? Yeah, it was a disappointment. As someone who has played Diablo 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and all their expansions, I found D4 to be very disappointing. Both in gameplay and in, like, the talent tree. Dude, tree is a strong word. That is a talent pine needle. All right, that is a talent twig. Okay? Like, there is so... Dude, it has less choices than the D2 talent tree and less variety than the runes in D3. And it's like they took the worst of both worlds. And then, like, the graphics are good. Yeah, it looks spooky. And then, like, the game was not stable at all. We had it crash constantly. Dude, in the final boss fight, it crashed on me, and I finally just said... And I just watched the... I watched a video of someone else beating it so we could see the final cinematic on YouTube, and then I uninstalled it. I did play D4. I even went back to it briefly when the expansion came out, but I really disappointed in it, honestly. Dude, also, there were some major plot holes. Like, it was like the people that did the writing for D4 did not even read what happened in D1. There were multiple plot holes in it. I was just like, oh my Jesus. So as like a fan of the franchise, it was, ugh. When you say all their expansions, does that mean the D4 expansion? Yeah, I played D4 expansion too. The only Diablo game I've not played was the mobile one, and was it Immortal? Immortal. Yeah, I haven't played Immortal. Yeah, that actually reminds me. I saw some like negative stuff going around on Twitter lately about Last Epoch, but I didn't look into it. Hold on, what was that? Now I'm thinking about ARPGs. What did they do? We're releasing an update. There will be an expansion called Last Epoch Orbis. Will Last Epoch expansion be free for existing players? Yes. Anyone on PC who owns Last Epoch before the launch will receive the expansion as a free update. New players and PlayStation 5 players will be purchasing... Oh, word? Hold on. New players and PS5 players have to purchase Last Epoch, all of its seasonal content, and the Orbis expansion as one updated purchase. Is that what people are pissed about? I don't even know. It's a paid class? Last Epoch paid class. Last Epoch players turn on the action RPG for announcing a paid DLC class, tanking its Steam reviews. Go play Path of Exile instead. Wait, really? I mean... Okay, I would say it depends on how they marketed it. Because in Diablo 3, they added the Necromancer, which was a new class, with the expansion. So you had to pay for the expansion to unlock the Necromancer. And I don't think most people were really bothered by that. But you also got the whole expansion too for your purchase, right? Necro sucked in D3. I agree. The Necro did suck in D3 compared to D2. Grim Dawn is very slow paced. Yeah, I love Grim Dawn too. Grim Dawn has a dual class system like Guild Wars 1, where you choose 2 classes and then you make a hybrid out of it. D3 had Crusader on ROS. Necromancer was standalone. Was it? It's been too long. You might be right. Yeah, I admit that you might be right. I'd have to go back and check, and I'm not going to do that.
What? How did you get too powerful to be destroyed?
How can playing as Hot Goth Girl suck? It's funny you say that, because when I played the D4 core story, I was playing as a female necromancer with a lot of eyeshadow, and her name was like Goth Girlfriend or something like that. Then when the expansion came out, we played a druid, and it was awful. Should have stuck with a Goth Girlfriend. Oh, there we go. The boss music finally started.
Never give up. Shut still.
Sorrow's toll.
Soften them up.
Soften them up. Muck, do you know any games like V Rising? Okay. You're gonna think I'm trolling, but I'm not. Terraria. V Rising is most like Terraria. You don't level up. You collect items to make yourself stronger. You build a big house in order to craft and refine items. It's just the graphics are extremely different. Enshrouded. Valid. Enshrouded is similar as well. Grounded. Yeah. Yeah. Grounded is good too. Also, Grounded 2, my kid loves Grounded. Me and my son did many playthroughs. Like, we did playthroughs of Grounded until I was sick of it. But we did a lot of playthroughs of Grounded. And then Grounded 2 is currently in early access. And I played Grounded 2 one night on stream, but it was really buggy, so I stopped. He's continued tinkering with it off stream. By the way, look at all those Ritualist spirits. Holy hell. I think we got 1 or 2 Rits here. Maybe even 3. Maybe Stranded. If you mean Stranded Alien Dawn, I would disagree. Unless you're talking about some other game. I missed the part in Terraria where I trapped humans in cages to tap their blood for absolute power. That was a wild game update. You do realize most people who play Terraria, in the first 10 minutes, they make a bunch of jail cell-sized rooms, and they trap all the villagers in them, floating in the air, to access them anytime they want. Do not act like Terraria has less slavery than V-Rising or Minecraft.
I'm nigh invincible.
Zero tolerance.
I was about to say that's a 1-for-1. Yeah, I know. It's like spot on. Just think of the ethics of Pokemon. Anytime Ash Ketchum ever ate a burger, that meat came from somewhere. They have chosen, they have decided that there are some Pokemon that are okay to butcher. We just don't know which ones yet. He charged too far out of bounds. He's gonna reset. There's no laws against Pokemon about it. Lord of Tinder banned.
Set them up for the kill.
Minecraft, you find your first village and enslave everyone. Yeah. Hold on a sec. There's one that's been floating around recently. Oh god. Past week. Found it. Hang on a sec. Huh? Okay. Alright, hang on. Okay, this is a Reddit link. What is it? r/loser city? Okay. This is the video. This has been floating around recently. Like, if you know, you know. Like, dude, they're horrible. The Minecraft Steve is horrible. What was the boat? If you get them in the boat, they can't leave. If you get someone in a boat, it forces them in the sit animation and they cannot leave. And then you could just build a box around them, and then it's just like, oh, that's my Fletcher. I just go to that box when I need Fletcher services. And they live out their whole life in the box. So it's like, you approach the villager with a boat in hand and they just hear horror music. Mike, there's a stream game called Vampires Bloodlord Rising that's exactly like V Rising, but third person. I mean, if it's exactly like it. Inventory. Dude, there's so much more. Was that Miguel's theme? I'm not sure. Like, why is New World shutting down? I don't know. I mean, they basically said... Oh, okay. First of all, minor note. I don't care. Second of all, what I have seen about this that just happened to land in front of my face was that New World was going to stay up in like a you can play it if you want mode for like a year, and then they're shutting it down. I assume they're losing money. Isn't that, it always comes back to money, right? I assume it's money. One of the craziest things about it, though, is that they had just released, like, a new DLC or something, and then the next day they were like, we're shutting down in a year. Maintenance mode? Well, maintenance mode for a year, and then they're turning it off, apparently. I don't know if this map is actually doing it or not. There's one tag on this map. That's the wrong map. Alright, that's this map. Okay, maybe. It's a maybe. Like, Amazon decided to shut down most of its game studios or something. It generally wasn't about the New World or the product. Well, I mean, I bet if New World had been doing fantastic, they wouldn't have decided to shut it down. You know what? I shouldn't say that. I am assuming right now that the people in charge of that decision have a modicum of intelligence. And we learned with Hi-Fi Rush that they don't. Right? Different studio. Game is released. First game by a group. It does stellar. With no build, like no pre-purchase, no like trailers before the game comes out. They're just like, boom, here's this if you want it. And it did amazing. And then their department got shut down. So sometimes they're just stupid. So, okay, I don't know. Maybe, I actually don't know. I would want to logically say New World was probably not doing well and they shut it down. But they might have just been stupid. I don't know. There's a Steam game. Oh, wait, hold on. I already read that. They wanted to move towards making AI games, so they fired a vast majority of the staff. Oh, dang. I hope they find some AI players.
So what are you up to so far out here in enemy territory?
We're setting up late.
Plushy mounts have toe beans? Yes.
Deeper into the jungle. Unfortunately, there's a problem. Diverting ley line energy to the cannon is agitating the bugs. They have some sort of defense mechanism. Not sure what, but it's big.
Let them bring it!
Yeah, well, for now, I could use your help securing this.
I am not sure if there's enough people here. We're gonna find out. We are gonna find out. I'd say stupid, considering the devs were literally in the middle of the next expansion being released soon and it just got shotgunned to the graveyard. Shotgunned to the graveyard. Everyone tries harder when you're here. So I just need to put some, like, an emote of just, like, big eyes in the map chat. What's the difference between Commander Choice Chest and Hero's Choice Chest? I don't know. I just usually open the boxes. I don't know. Five seconds.
I don't like the look of that. Protect the charm. Draw it out.
Unleashed!
Unleashed.
Exhilarating! For the record, you've been struck. Soften them up.
For the record, you've been struck. How do convergences work? I probably need to do those. It's just it's a big 50-man instance. It's kind of like doing an open world map boss. But you just go, I've got guides to both of the convergences. Do I have a command for that? Hold on, exclamation converge. Wow, I just typed something in chat, and it is taking a very long time to appear on my side. There we go. So I've got guides to convergences right there if you want them, but it's like a 50-man instance, so the mechanics are not that complicated, because getting 50 people to do the same thing is like herding cats. Which I've never done, but I've heard that's difficult. So I'm going to say herding cats.
6 feet tall.
Slice them apart. Sharp blade, sharp mind.
Rip them up.
Wear them down. You are all weaklings.
Mike, are you going to play the turn-based mode update for Pillars of Eternity? PoE 1? I really liked just how it was before. Probably not. PoE is a great game. It is also like a 100-hour long game. And before, it was real-time with pause, which means combat moved much faster than if it were turn-based. I'm not sure I want to do that.
Pound it into dust. Wear them down. Rip them up.
I'll stay strong.
Another.
Why won't anyone help me?
Blades away.
Ah, the donut! Get out of the donut, you fool!
Clear the air.
Hey, we rezzing. Hey, we rezzing. Dodge roll out of it! Dodge roll out of it! Yes! I saved the donut victims.
Yet deals were struck.
Vitality restored.
Slice them up.
Still
Sharp blade,
perfectly
sharp mind.
functional. Get the point?
Close to dying.
Wear them down.
Ow.
Back into the
Anyone? Out. You are all weaklings. Scorch them.
Protect me. Not enough endurance.
Not enough endurance.
Dodge this.
Dude, why is he just looking at me? There's like 30 people behind you. Go hit them.
Soften them up.
Whoa. Looks like there's one more north still alive. Demon Cat says, hello, I've been watching through your playlist on builds in general, and specifically the healing builds, as I'm looking to understand how being a healer works. Your build guides help me understand a lot about it. I was wondering if you could explain how healing power works. I've read the wiki on it, but I'm not sure how it works. Demon Cat, hello. First off, if you're interested, I have a video, I don't know if you've seen this one, that's called, So You Want to Play Support, that I really think that you would like. And, dude, my chat is messed up. There we go. So I'm gonna put that in the chat right now. The second thing, in answer to your question, how does healing power work? Basically, any skill that heals will heal for more based on healing power. But it'll have like a ratio, right? So let's say you've got it really strong here. You might have a heal that it's like, okay, it heals for 1,000, but then it also heals for another 1 point for every 2 healing power. Or you might have another one that is like, okay, this one only heals for 500, but it heals for 1 more for every point of healing power, you know? Like, there's different rates that it scales. But the short version of it is healing power makes healing abilities numbers go up. That's the TLDR. But each ability will not go up at the same rate. It depends on the skill in question. Like, for example, Ranger has a healing skill called Troll Unguent. And Troll Unguent, heals for more than any other skill, just like on its own baseline. But when you add healing power to it, it hardly increases at all. Like, its base healing it does is so huge, but the scaling healing from healing power is very, very, very small. But the others, the base is smaller, but the healing power increase is much larger. So it's situational. Yeah, mathy numbers, but healing power makes healing skills numbers go up. That makes sense, thank you. Sure. Alright, chat, now we fight the wall. Oh. What happened there? There we go. Hey, just his arm showed up. Let's see. Dementor says, Muk, do you have any interest in the new Octopath Traveler game this week? Kinda, yeah. I played Octopath Traveler 2. I enjoyed it. How much time did we get out of that? I got 63 hours out of that, and I enjoyed it. What was that? I remember this guy's name was like Marcutio or something like that. What was it? He's always Hoo Boy. That was it. He always would go Hoo Boy, and chat was Hoo Boying for months after that. We had a lot of Hoo Boying. Yeah, and really the only negative thing I had to say about this game was there was not like an XP share. So at the end, you had to have all 8 people leveled up for the final boss fight. And I had like 4 of them leveled up. So I had to grind levels on the others for hours in order to do the final boss fight. And I hated that part. I've been told in the 3rd game that is not as bad. I guess we'll find out though. You know what? Hang on a second. Let me... Let's see. Hold on. Did I already mention something about this? Let's see. Okay. Key requests? That's actually a good idea. I was looking to confirm that I had mentioned I would be game to do an Octopath sponsored stream, because we actually were introduced to Octopath Traveler 2 because I did a sponsored stream for them. And then we played it for another 50 hours just on our own because we had fun. Muk, have you tried Where Winds Meet? Yeah, I played it for an hour and a half, less than a week ago, and I really didn't get into it. My 90-minute review is beautiful world, combat was fun, the writing was some of the worst I've experienced in a very long time. And that is saying something. Like, the writing was so rough, and like, there's this little girl that you're with, it is just driving me up the wall. And I'm a parent, right? And she was driving me up the wall with how, like, stupid everything out of her mouth was, that I uninstalled after 90 minutes. So, that was the main thing. Also, there was a lot of mistranslations, because of course I'm playing the game in English, and I think it originated from, like, Korean or something like that. So, there was a lot of mistranslations that were quite annoying, and kind of, you know, unimmersed you. So, yeah, TLDR, not for me. Hi, Mugga Chat. I can see the leyline anomaly appearing wherever I go. I heard there's an event link to it. Anyone know what it's called? I think it's a achievement, and if you do it, you get rid of the guy. I never did the achievement. I still have that dude. He's my faraway buddy, even after all these years. Would be nice if the XP system is like BG3. Yeah, you know what? Hang on a sec. Octopath Traveler 0 does it have shared experience? The AI response is no, it does not. Only characters in the active party earn XP. This is a common feature in the series where XP is not divided among all 8 potential party members, but is given to those currently fighting, so players should rotate their party members to ensure everyone levels up. Mug, by the way, it was the Matthias vid. Yeah, I know. We when you pointed it out to me the other day, I showed it. Classic Square Enix style, yeah. I mean, I'm still down to play it, but that was the only thing that I was like, about. Because, like, for example, of the 8 classes, you know, there was one I didn't really like. The other, like, I did all their stories. There was one character I didn't like that much. So anytime I got to a point in the story where she had to be there, I had to go power level her and get her stronger because she was behind on XP. And I had to have to catch her up. Mucky Muck, I like your streams. Aran, I like your taste in streams. Do you have an agent or someone who lines up sponsored work for you? Currently, there is a team called SideQuest Media. And SideQuest Media work with many different content creators. And they basically constantly go out to different companies that are doing games. They'll be like, hey, your RPG's about to come out. Are you looking for any sponsored work? And if they say yes, they're like, yeah, we're looking for people who have an audience that like RPGs. And they'll be like, okay, we've got 10 different streamers that we're representing that love RPGs. And I'm in that pile, right? So they've got a few big name people, like T-Pain is their biggest one. He's got his own special agent, but SideQuest Media is running a lot of different folks. But they've been really good to me. They do get a cut. So like if they get me a job and I accept it, which I don't have to, I can choose to, then they will get a cut of that. But I have gotten so much more work through them than I ever did when I was on my own that it is totally, like, not even a doubt in my mind. It's totally worth, you know, them getting me more work for them to get a cut. So, but often they can at minimum get me game keys. I've gotten many game keys this year that I didn't have to buy because they just like asked for it and then got it. Muck, what's your take on fusing raids and strikes? I mean, I don't think they're going to be changing that. I need to see it, right? I don't think they're going to be changing it. Like, they did say you could like queue into certain raid bosses, right? So like if you want to do like the wing, what is it, wing 2 with escort, and you just want to skip escort and go straight to keep construct, you could. That sounds good. No one really likes escort. Mug, if you wait, hold on, what was the question? Mug, if you were live at the time, will we watch the Game Awards on stream? It would be some really easy, lazy content, but I'm not really thinking about that. No. I like escort. Okay, we found one person that likes escort.
Lend me your keen insight.
I feel 6 feet tall.
Winter Run fails just a castle, yeah. I am getting a lot of people sending me pictures of their plushies arriving around the world, and I freaking love it. If you got one, feel free to send me pictures. Even if it's next to your anime figures. I love it. Yo, what is...
A lasting
Who is this? Who is this? Dude, they're empty too. How, dude, did you just... Oh my god, dude, he's got so much trash. These are empty cans. Oh my god, disgusting. Disgusting. Dude, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 cans. Dude, he pulled these out of the garbage for this picture. Oh my god. Dackler says, what kind of monster are you? Some of us have heard of enough of I'm Not Your Puppy Girl. Dude poured out a 12-pack for a photo shoot. He didn't have to pour them out. He could have just left them up. The reason for Did I Miss the Giveaway was to poke fun at people who would show up to the big giveaways close thing on screen, hits the kappa. But I know that the long game has finally paid off. Oh, okay. Dude, it never bothered me. I think you could tell I wasn't bothered. I knew you were, because the kappa face, I knew you were trolling. Maybe I didn't understand the flavor of the trolling, but I knew you were trolling.
Valuable.
Mike, is there a giveaway? I like free stuff. Send me a legendary. Guild MM, I told this story recently because someone asked if I've ever had anyone win something they put into the giveaway. And there was a giveaway once where you sent me an incinerator. And we did the giveaway. And then Cello Frag won it. Who is also rich. And everyone in chat, like, rioted. They're like, are you kidding me? Oh my god, this is BS. Rigged, 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 rigged. So, and then Cello just, like, laughed. It was like, I pass. He passed. It was like 1,500 gold. He just goes, I pass. And they were like, yay, oh my god. And then so, like, we draw another name, and the next guy wins. And he's like, oh my god. Dude, he was starstruck. Because it was like a giveaway by Mukluk. An item given by Guild MM that was passed by Cello Frag so he could have it. It's like 3 big fish in this tiny pond. And he was like, oh. He was very happy. Mike, how does that feel knowing the plushies overdosed on coke? Oh my god. The starstruck moment? Yes. Hmm, 12 minutes. 12 minutes will be midnight. Nah, that'll be too late. Is there anything else going on right now? Fire Ellie would finish before then. Let's go do that. Cable won one of my giveaways recently, but he took the item to give it away on his stream. I had, what is it? I don't remember. I think it was a Juggernaut. Someone sent me, I think it might have been Ace and Kirax sent me a Juggernaut for a giveaway. I'm like, oh, that's awesome. That's so generous. Thank you. And, you know, he's a jerk, so he was like, bite me or something. I was like, okay. And then I find out later, because Arrowlozen starts freaking out. And I'm like, what are you spazzing out about? And apparently Arrowlozen did a giveaway with Juggernaut. Asen won it, and then took it and donated it to my stream, and then I gave it away. And Errol, like, worked really hard putting it together. He felt very cheated. I'm like, dude, I didn't know. He's like, what the hell? I put that together. He just gave it to you to give away again. Now you look like the good guy. I'm like, oh my god. I was like, man, I had no idea. You just donated it, and I said thank you. I said the dude poured out a 12-pack of Diet Pepsi because no one in their right mind drinks that entire thing. When I was growing up, my parents were hooked on caffeine-free Diet Pepsi, which was, it was like a gold can, if any of you remember that. Like, we always had like a pile of those in the fridge. They were always just, that was that. It was just that. That's what they drank. No water, just that. Any memes of this is where I'd put my plush if I had one? If not, missed opportunity. Maybe someone could whip that up. You know what? I just got an idea for something. Hold on. Sorry for the flashbang. I wanted that to open on my other screen. Hang on a sec. Give me a second here. All right, I'm gonna need 3 pictures to put this meme together, guys. All right, I need you to be patient. All right, there's one. Okay. Minecraft noises. All right, here we go. There's number 2. And oh gosh, this is oh man. All right, this is going terribly. This is going terribly. All right, we're gonna have to do it this way. Okay. Okay, there we go. Perfect. All right, I got 2 out of 3. I need one more. And okay, perfect. And then we are going to we're going to cut paste this. All right, and then paste this here. All right, chat. My artwork is done. All right, here we go. Here we go. I'm unveiling it. All right, 3, 2, 1. What do you think? 20-year-old game, by the way. I paused my stream for 5 minutes to make this. Again, it wasn't reforged last time. It wasn't reforged last time. Edit your face onto Grant Gustin? Nah, that's too much work. Dude, I did this in Paint. I couldn't even use layers. Straight to Twitter. Oh, man. Cold-blooded. That's the game I came from. Yo, if he can laugh at it, anyone can laugh at it. Did you make that before? I made it with the Guild Wars 2 logo last time. This time I used Guild Wars 1, which makes it even more savage. We've been getting a lot of new streamers from New World of WoW recently. It's been refreshing. Oh, yeah, I agree with you. We had, what is it? Showtech was here for a while before he realized that Warriors kind of suck. And then, what's the other one? Arrow Lee. Arrow Lee was, I think he's still playing? I think he's still playing. We have a different schedule, so I don't see him at the time that he's on, but I've been seeing a lot of YouTube shorts from him.
Infuriating.
Arrow Lee's been playing for 2 months. Right on. That's awesome.
Into the breeze.
I'm working on a progression-based account instead of just immediately diving into the new content. I'm doing as much of each as possible before moving on. Still in Courtier at the moment. That's awesome. So, Azzy, I just recently did a playthrough of the core game with no expansions on a free-to-play account. We were doing like a hardcore challenge. So, like, I just did that, and it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. Arrow Lee was 5 seconds from quitting last night. He got to the top 250, and then chat told him keep playing, and he lost 13 games in a row. I assume you mean of Conquest. It's on YouTube. Oh, my playthrough? Yeah, it's in 2 places. So the full, like, unedited binge list is on the Mukluk Plays YouTube channel, the second one, which is in the chat links right there. And then the edited list, like the condensed version with just, like, funny moments and stuff, is on my main channel in the Craft Locked playlist. The challenge is called Craft Locked. And give me a sec, I'll give you a link to that right now. Okay, this is the edited playlist. It's not done yet, because editing takes time. There's 4 episodes up, and there will be a total of 10, but that's gonna take a while. But the binge one, if you just want to, like, something to watch for hundreds of hours, is on the other one. When are we going to let Charmin pick the games again? You know what? A game I have seen other streamers scream at that I think y'all will laugh at is this thing called Level Devil. On every level of it, something incredibly unfair happens. And I've seen a lot of clips of people just raging at this game. It's only like 2 hours long. I think I want to play this tomorrow. I think it would be good content. Play this, and then after we finish it, or I rage quit, then we will go to Drova. We're like near the end of Drova. We need to finish Drova after that. So I think this would be fun to start tomorrow. Like, it looks torturous.
Magic battery cell damaged. Failure imminent. Excuse me.
Oh no, keep it in.
Have you played Dispatch? Yes. The full playlist is in the... Sorry, the full playthrough is in the Dispatch playlist on Mukluk Plays.
Accelerate! Nature defends me.
Defends us. History is mine. You are done. Construct.
I never knew you had a second channel. You should start saying, like, check out the full unedited video on this channel at the end of the video. In every one of those videos... Oh my god. So, at the end of every one of my stream, for, like, a couple years now, I mention, like, sub to both my YouTube channels. And in many of my videos, I mention the second YouTube channel, and there's a pinned comment on, like, every video pertaining to the something that's on the second channel, plugging the second channel. I'm really happy. The second channel has been, like, a labor of love, because it definitely got a little bit of help from the main channel, but it's like there's a Venn diagram, right? There's people that like the main channel, there's people that like the second channel, and there's some overlap, but it's not always the same people. It's a different audience. So it kind of felt like I was making a YouTube channel from scratch again. But it just passed 10,000 subscribers, the second channel did just the other day. There's actually more videos than subscribers on that channel. If that tells you anything. There's more videos on it than there are subs. But I do love that anytime someone is like, oh, Muck, have you played blah, 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 blah? I can just go, oh, yeah, here. And I can just give them the link. And they get, 100 hours of something to watch if they like it, and I get another penny.
Shelter our souls.
Clear the air.
Muck gave up on Invisigal. I don't negotiate with terrorists.
For great justice. Time to let loose.
What is Bloodstone Dust? My material bank is full and I can't sell the excess. Agonite. There are items in this game called converters. They will eat Bloodstone Dust or Imperial Fragments or Dragonite ore and give you random bags of loot. You need converters. Type exclamation convert in my chat to get a guide on converters and get some.
Oh no, my dear 5,000. This world didn't deserve.
Good morning. Time to work and enjoy the stream to the side. What's up, Dr. Crano? I am going to be going to bed soon, but I will raid someone in the Guild Wars 2 category, so you still have something to watch. Yeah, just to give an example of a late game converter, this right here. So like here, I can spin Bloodstone Dust and buy some of these bags. I can spin Bloodstone Dust here and buy this bag and here, and you get it. Lots of different ones here. All right, Fire Elemental complete.
Valuable.
Rare and valuable. I've been mentioning so many playlists on the second channel in between watching the I Tried Another Build playlist. You are my target audience. I love you for it. Dude, I really missed out on the time period where you could just put up, like, raw, uncut videos. Like, when Markiplier first started, like, getting big. Oh my god, I wish I had started YouTube then. Like, compared to today, like, how much work you have to put into thumbnails and stuff to get people to click because there's, like, so much more competition. Man, I really wish I had started back when Markiplier did. Like, he's a super entertaining guy, but also it was like, it's kind of like the Silicon Valley thing, right? Like, he was in the right place at the right time, and there was not a lot of competition. In chat, there was Die Hard Invisigal. Dude, some of it I don't understand. Because, like for example, in our playthrough, we ended up with Coop being a bad guy. Or bad gal. And there was a moment where, like, you can forgive her. And it's like, she blew up a city block and killed hundreds of people 5 minutes ago. No, I don't forgive you. Straight to jail. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. What do you... It's like 5 minutes ago. You killed a ton of people. Like, no, I'm not going to see you at work on Monday. Are you out of your damn... And everyone's like, but she's hot. And I'm like, oh my god. If you're okay with saying it, how much does it cost to have a video editing? I can give you a vague answer. So here's the thing. I don't pay per video. Noxxi has a contract with me, and I pay Noxxi a flat rate per month, and Noxxi will spend X hours each weekday editing for me. That's what we have right now. And she also does work, like, you know, a la carte work with other people at the same time. So, like, I'm essentially, Noxxi takes on any clients she wants, and I'm just her most regular client. So it is up to me to give her enough work to keep her busy. Because if I don't have a project in the queue, she gets to just twiddle her thumbs and still takes my money, right? So if I go, hey, can you edit this craft lock episode? And if that takes a week to make it look real nice, then that would be, you know, basically a quarter of what I pay her for the month. So sometimes I might be like, hey, just get it looking as good as you can in 3 days. You know, or something like that. Hi. I have a visitor. So sometimes I will, like, there are things I want her to take her time on. Like if she's doing a guide for like the legendary rebreather, that took a week and a half of editing. So I paid a lot of money to get that done, but I am banking on the fact that long term, many of you at some point in the coming years will use that video at least once. So it's like, I kind of suck at making a video that just goes like viral in a day, but I'm pretty good at making videos that will continue to trickle in views for like years. Like that's kind of my niche, and I found that out, and I'm just kind of staying there. So I can't give you an exact number, but that's how we do our thing. Nathan says 2 questions. Have you made a guide for Vision Part 2? I've made a guide for Vision. If you do the... Wait, what? I got auto... Yeah, I don't know why that auto-modded you. Hang on a sec. Okay, I got you. Alright, so on the playlist I just linked in chat, here's the Legendary Crafting playlist. Hang on a sec. Vision should be in here. Give me just a minute. Here's Aurora and Vision right here. So yeah, Vision is here. So there is a Vision video. What was the second one? Any tips on making Mystic tributes? Not off the top of my head. That I don't have any off the top of my head. I would just here. Hang on a sec. Wiki Mystic tribute. Let's see. Well, one, they're okay. So they're account bound. So you make them with 2 gifts of condensed magic, 2 condensed might, 250 mystic coins, and 77 mystic clovers. If you haven't already, get all the mystic clovers and mystic coins you can from the wizard's vault. That's tip number 1. You can get more coins just farming gold literally any game mode you want, and then taking that gold and buying them off of the TP. Clovers you can get from Raid Merchant for raid currency, Strike Merchant for strike currency, Fractal Merchant for fractal currency, PvP reward track, World v World reward track, and a handful of other ways. You can also craft them from coins, but it's only a 30% success rate. So for every 10 Mystic Coins you spend, on average, you will get 3 Mystic Clovers. So that is another thing as well. Might and Magic, this is just gold. This is just a whole ton of blood, fangs, bones, dust, venom, blah, 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 blah. That's just money. Alright. Can I suggest something for the site? Yeah, certainly. I mean, you're welcome to suggest stuff, but like, if I don't like the suggestion, I'm just not going to do it. But yeah, you're welcome to suggest stuff. Which weekly Mystic Merchant would you say is the most worth getting weekly? The one that is connected to the game mode you like playing. Because if you're doing raids just to buy Mystic Clovers from the merchant, that would be stupid. But if you're already doing raids because you enjoy them, it's easy to buy Mystic Clovers. Same with Strike, same with Fractals. There are no clues in the game as to what the Legendary Ring in 2 months will need, right? So, currently, the Legendary Rebreather and the Spear Staff require you to get stuff from these 2 zones. So, by the time the Legendary Ring comes out, which is here, there will not yet be map 3 and 4. So there's a high likelihood that the Legendary Ring will also use currencies from the first 2 zones. Okay? However, the Legendary Accessory is going to come out when map 3 does. High likelihood it's going to use stuff from map 3. Legendary Weapon in map 4 will use currency from map 4. So my guess, and I really want to emphasize this as a guess, is this will use stuff from the first 2 maps, this will use stuff from the third, and maybe all the first 2 and 3, and this might use stuff from all 4 maps, or just the 4th one. Those are my guesses, just based on that picture. I keep that tab open because we use that a lot. The vendor in the Wizard's Tower gives you some for strikes is pretty good if you already do strikes, Skilled MM says. I suggest a hyperlink menu for each category at the top of the page. If it's there, I missed it. So you're talking about on Mukluk Labs. So let me see. Right now what we have is, if you go to Gaming Guides and go to Guild Wars 2, that just goes here. And then there's this. So if you mean like having all these on a menu at the top, we could maybe do that. But yeah, it's not set up like that at this time. It's just like this. And then there's the Is It Worth It reviews. I haven't done one of these in like over a month. I'm working on a script right now for Is It Worth It? What was it? Veil of the Witch, which is a game we did recently. It's gonna do this one? Yeah, there's a lot of... I mean, there's infinite ways we could do it. I mean the Leggy page. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, I don't think I would do that on just the Leggy page. But I will say the page has grown... You are right that the page has grown a lot since we first made it. Because, you know, they keep adding more Leggies, so the page keeps getting larger. Okay. Alright. Hey, Mike, I just want to say you motivated me to put in some voice auditions for the fun of it. Oh, really? Thank you for the inspiration, and I wish you the best with your journey. I think that is awesome, and I wish you only the best unless you take my gerb. In which case, con. then I'm mad. The site needs a 24/7 ship cam. Oh my gosh. Now I'm just imagining, like, I'm in the bathroom and Chip starts to walk in and I'm like, no! I'm about to get banned on Twitch. Can I maintain full alacrity and quickness with full exotic gear? Or do I need Ascended for more concentration? I think, okay, any class that provides alacrity or provides quickness with the correct gear can keep the boon up 100% of the time in exotic. So some supports require concentration, so you would wear like exotic gear with concentration, like Harriers or something. And some supports do not require concentration, like a Gale Shot that provides quickness does not require concentration to keep quickness up. So it depends on what you're playing, but that just is for like the stat type. But the quick exotic is fine. Have a good night. See you, Selene. I'm about to head out too. Friendly reminder to check out the Yours Who Efficiency Advent Calendar, which someone currently in chat has provided all the items for. Yes. Okay. All right. Chat, I think we are all caught up on the chat and the questions. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. A couple of plugs on the way out. If you guys are new here, my name is Muck. I stream every evening and every weekday morning. Tuesdays are always for Guild Wars 2. Tomorrow morning, we're continuing our playthrough of Age of Wonders 4. Tomorrow night, we'll try out that silly, frustrating game, Level Devil, and then we'll work on finishing Drova afterward. A quick thing, as some of you saw today, I was late because of the voice actors workshop I went to. I am going to be at that workshop Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So Wednesday, roughly an hour late, maybe a little bit more if they go overtime again. Same with Thursday, and then Friday I'll be on completely normal schedule. So that is the plan for the next 2 days. Hit the follow button on Twitch, subscribe if you're on YouTube. Here's links to both my YouTubes in the chat, and a special thank you to our dear patrons. They keep this channel alive with their support. I could not do this without them, and there's a link to that in the chat if you want to be a supporter. Shilling complete. Thank you for listening. Let me find someone in the Guild Wars 2 category to raid. Let me see who is live. Ian's live. Ian's fantastic. We'll get Ian done. Hang on. I can't highlight correctly. Wait, hang on a sec. /raid Ian Maiden. Let's see if I spelled it right. Do we see her with the chicken hat pop up? Yes, we do. If I see the chicken hat, I know I got the right person. All right. See you guys over there. Have a good one, and I will be back tomorrow. See ya.